Hi, good morning, everybody.
My bad. To my speaker. And I left the meeting now, so it's not me.
But it's Clint. He's new, he's a rookie now, but he has been on vacation. Are we good? Could say it again.
Hello.
I think we're clear.
Okay. All right, let's try it again. Good morning. This is Bill Canada, Custer County Commissioner. It is January the 19th, Wednesday, 2022. First meeting of the new year. And by the way, welcome, Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody had a great vacation. For Christmas as well. This meeting's being recorded both on Zoom and on YouTube, as well as by the county clerk. I'd like to remind everybody to please mute your phones if you haven't done it, or mute your speakers after we've learned that we should. And we will call this meeting to order. Let's please stand for the pledge, and I would like to see if our returning attorney can stand and say it for us. Thanks for being here.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, roll call, Kelly.
Commissioner Kanda,
Present.
Commissioner Flower,
Present.
Commissioner Day,
Present.
Attorney Clint Smith,
Present.
and Clerk to the Board Kelly Camper present.
It's great having a full house again. And let's do audience introductions that are here in the room. Start over.
Day, Wetmore,
James Gilbert, Custer County.
Jordan Hedberg, Custer County.
And we got
Braden Wilson, Director of Finance, St. Joe.
back. Okay, that's what we have. And if we have people online, I know there's some people that are not here or joining by Zoom. And if they speak, we'll introduce them then so Kelly can get a record of who's on and who's not. The amendments, Tom, for the agenda. How about you, Ken?
No, sir.
I do not either. And we do have some minutes, and I know Kelly worked on them hard because she came back around a couple times for some info. So, and they look pretty good to me. I didn't see anything to change. Any comments on them, Kevin?
No.
Tom?
I would move that we accept minutes from November 17th.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the minutes as presented by the clerk for the date of November the 17th. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 And aye. Did you get your copy you asked for, Kelly? Hey, Commissioner items. How about you, Tom?
Let's see. Just wanted to mention too, on pulling up my commissioner report, February 2nd is a jail tour. So I'm assuming we'll schedule that right after our commissioner meeting.
Okay.
January 4th, I attended our REO grant recycling meeting, Zoom meeting. January the 6th, attended CCI short-term rental state tax meeting via Zoom. On the 12th, attended the annual operating plan meeting with OEM down at the firehouse. 14th, attended the Southern Colorado Economic Development District workshop, a Zoom meeting where we met Leslie Mastrioni. 18th attended the opioid regional meeting via Zoom. And then I wondered if we had a schedule set to hire a new admin assistant, and if that assistant's going to be part-time or full-time. That's all I have.
Any questions? Brayden, you got the posted the admin assistant job, and
Yes,
Right.
yeah,
Thomas.
it was in the paper. I didn't get a chance to talk to Brendan yesterday. I think it's still missing from the website, but
and I heard somebody came in looking to apply. I wondered what it was. Good. When's it due?
it is 20.
20th,
Closes on the 28th.
28th. Advertise it as full-time or part-time? Have we made that decision?
I used what was before.
It was full-time, I think. You said it part-time temporarily with Tina was recovering. All right, good. Kevin.
All right. I was also, I guess all three of us were at that AOP workshop over at the firehouse, Forest Service. So attended the Upper Ark water meeting. I did this one on Zoom. This one went a little bit longer than the last one I went to. This one was like 3.5 hours. So finally Bill Donnelly thought it was time to adjourn, and so they followed suit there. Also attended the Custer County Republican Committee meeting, and forgive me for not having dates, but I think Virginia's got some dates for the caucuses and things of that nature. Then I was at the same SCED meeting with Eric and Leslie as well. Good to meet her, even though it was not in person. And then yesterday afternoon, Braden and I met with the Planning Commission to go over some things with them. We will be meeting again with them and Planning and Zoning on Monday. And just trying to mesh things together there and come up with a couple of solutions for a couple of issues that we have and move forward on that. So very, very good meeting yesterday. Good. Then last night I was in Florence for their fire department meeting. They had a short agenda. The ambulance service was not on their agenda, but I was there anyway. I'm going to try to make a bunch of their meetings down. They're still in the process of getting everything set up now since their bond passed, and so that now they're setting up their EMS service, and Bill Ritter is the lead on that, and he's getting all the personnel put together, insurance, training. They have to put up the housing for the personnel out in Penrose and things of that nature. So they'll be at least probably this first quarter just getting everything set up on their own side of things. So, and that'd be everything I've got.
Pretty big time, a lot of activity, even though it was sort of vacation time, but not. So it was, everybody's been busy, which reminds me that E911 meeting is Thursday. If you didn't
Tomorrow.
see the email, it's tomorrow. Down at Town Hall for Silver Cliff, I believe is where it's going to be. And I will not be able to be there for it, so get a hold of Buck and let him know. Anyway, that other item that I would mention that wasn't brought up already, the airport was pretty well damaged in the wind that came up the last, right? All of Christmas, it seemed like it was most hellacious winds I've seen up here since 2011 when the whole valley got hammered. I don't know why it picked spots, but miles were an hour were clocked at we're 120 in some places. So we lost the door, one of the big roll down doors, and we lost all the skylights, blew out, which I don't know, there's no reason to have skylights. It just was the way it was built when it was built. But that's all repaired right now. The door is not repaired. It's they had a garage door company came up and we're here doing some other things, and they were able to secure the door, get it down and close, so the building is not losing heat. It was pumping heat out the ceiling pretty well, and kind of get out an emergency run with NORA to keep the water from freezing any worse. Well, the skylights were open. Anyway, that's underway, and I think Braden, they're working with you now on getting the insurance covered on it. And by the way, the fire department did have their one of the pumps on the front end of that truck froze up, so I think it needs to be replaced. That's the last word I got. The only other thing that I will bring up, there's some legislation going on in the state, and I had a call by many people. They wanted to get a petition of about 150 people, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. It regards the lions and bobcats, and they're taking a look at that sometime mid-February. They had thought about running it up early, but I talked to Cleve Simpson, our representative in the Senate, and it goes to the Senate first, and then whether it gets out of that or not is debatable, he says. He doesn't think it'll pass through that, and it may end up going to the voters like the wolf did, which is a crazy way to manage your wildlife in the state by, mom rule sort of is what it is like, which turns into emotion as opposed to what maybe is the right way to handle things. Anyway, I have passed, they asked me to consider putting that on an agenda at some point and in time to make that. Here's a copy of our last thing that we did, which was for the wolf. And we objected to that, and this is a similar action that we'll put on the agenda for the next meeting so that we can consider it and get it there if we do pass it, to get it to the Senate and to our senator and our representative.
I received a few calls on that as well.
Yeah, I think I had about 10, and they said they had 150 people bugging them. That was the number they threw out. So quite a few people. I think it was because it looked like it was going to be rushed without getting enough time to talk about it. So I don't think that's going to be the case. At least he sat next to the person that's sponsoring that bill. That sits next to him in the Senate, and asked why they were doing it. She didn't have a reason really, other than she thought that the way they were hunting them, they used dogs, which I don't know what she meant by that, or he didn't. And they also, she understands, they put them in cages, let people look at them, and then shoot them. That doesn't happen in Colorado. That may have happened, Cleve said, when they had that discussion in Texas somewhere, maybe. So there's some emotion already involved. So I want to make sure we take a time to look at it properly. And I think, that's all other than the items we've talked about already that I thought would be worth bringing up. So any other questions before we move forward from the attorney? You're up.
Well, I was on vacation for a few weeks. I'm back.
Well, thanks. It sounds like you got back in a vengeance because you're walking and talking.
Yeah, I'm still alive, and that always counts for something. I was that big blizzard on December 15. I was out in those strong winds. That's when I fell and broke my hip. But I'm doing good. I attended that meeting yesterday with the planning commission for a while at Kevin's request, but my chauffeur got impatient, so I had to leave early.
Wasn't your dog this time?
No, it wasn't my dog, but it was interesting, and I plan to listen to the recording of the rest of it, and so I'll be up to speed for the next meeting that it's going to be between the planning commission and the planning and zoning department, and be involved in that. I guess the only other thing I wanted to report on was I'm close friends with Jim Reed. Of course, his father, Joe Reed, was a county commissioner here, and a very good one. His wife, Virginia Reed, who's been in a nursing home in Canyon City for almost 10 years, passed away at the age of 97, just a few days short of her 90th birthday. And so for those people here who knew Virginia Reed, very, very nice woman. Anyway, there will be a funeral on January 27. I assume it'll be published and everything. I don't know any other details then, but just thought I'd let everybody know. And she will be buried at the UA cemetery next to Joe. That's all I have.
Yeah, and I think Jim was the last guy that put you in the hospital. Last time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see, we don't have an admin today, but Jordan, are we okay on online, everything moving along? Okay. All right, any other public comment right now? Anything online there, Jordan? All right. Hearing none, let's move on with the agenda then. Unfinished business. I do not have any, Tom.
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay, new business. It's a new year, so we start over again. And the first item up would be consideration of the VOCC chair and vice chair. So I guess we'll leave that up to Clint to run like we have in the past.
Well, the procedure is that there are nominations. You can nominate yourself or you can nominate another commissioner, but you cannot vote for yourself. And it would be I guess a secret vote. You should write down, first of all, there should be nominations, and then you would write down your vote on a piece of paper and submit it to me, and I would read the way it's set up. That, it's an interesting procedure how it works, but there's going to end up being at least two voting for one of the nominees, even if you all voted for yourself, so, or nominated yourself. But the first step would be to nominate somebody to be the chairman. And I would do the chairman and vice chair separately.
Okay, so we'll do it that way. I was going to ask about the vice chair at the same time. So, okay, so we'll open up nominations for the chairman of the board, and I would nominate Kevin to start with.
Thank you. I've been thinking about this quite a bit lately. And I think I would like to step up and to do that. And so I would accept that nomination.
I would move to close nominations and select chairman by voice vote.
It's been moved to close the nomination and select chairman by voice vote. I would like to nominate myself just so that we have a vote.
Okay, sorry.
I was going to go ahead and nominate you as well.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Motion.
Okay.
So I would nominate Bill for chair as well.
Okay. That way we got a vote. I'll accept that and thank you for doing that, Kevin. Okay, any other nominations? Then I would move we close the nominations. All in favor, say aye.
I would second that.
That's right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. By the way, I don't think when you, I have to look at Robert's rules again, but sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But thanks for doing that, Ken. All right, so with that, then we vote.
Well, since we have two nominees now, you should each write down your choice and submit it to me, and I will read the names.
Can't be for yourself.
You can vote for yourself.
Okay.
Always working on some ballots.
Pass one. Way to go, clerk.
Yeah. Not very pretty,
As long as they work.
but they'll work.
Okay, I have now received the 3 votes on 3 separate pieces of paper. I'll open them. I have 1 vote for Bill Kanda. I have 1 vote for Kevin Day. And I have another vote for Kevin Day.
Okay. So that is a good thing. We got it completed. And Kevin, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
So with that, I'm gonna let you continue. We could change chairs, but you take over the meeting.
I'm comfortable here where I'm at. I would make a comment real quick as well. I know here in not too distant meetings, I have made the comment as far as my lack of knowledge of the Robert's Rules of Order and parliamentary procedure. As soon as some of our other appointments are done today, after today, I would like to set up a training for myself, anyone in here that would be interested in any of the chairs or people in some of these other departments that would you be using Robert's Rules of Order and parliamentary procedure. And so that being said, that I just wanted to touch base on that again.
And the next step now is for nominations for vice chair.
Thank you, sir. Nominations for vice chair. Anyone? I would nominate Bill.
I'll accept that. I've been there before.
Move to close nominations, vote by acclamation.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion on the floor to close nominations and vote by acclamation. All in favor? Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Aye. I would call the vote. Those in favor of Bill for vice chair signify by saying aye.
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 Job well done, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Yep. You got through it.
If I get way off base, please correct me, because I know that you know how it works. So feel free at any time to call me on things on that. So Moving on, then we have the consideration of the 2022 BOCC Department Managing Commissioners. And I think you have a copy of that.
Formerly known as point of contact.
Formerly known as the point of contacts. And
Yeah, there are a couple of mistakes apparently from what we had agreed to, and then maybe some learning over the last few days. If you want to bring that up. Okay.
yes, I was going to address some of that. I know in our new organizational, I believe that Bill had the week board. I see it there under Bill. Tina had mistakenly thought I was on the weed board and had sent me the initial contacts on that. And I attended that first meeting. We did not get on the email list. I don't believe so. I did not realize we had a meeting yesterday and I got here after the meeting. So
Yeah.
we need to probably address that. But I believe what I would like to do here is go to the other list that has all three commissioners on it, and set that list. And then we can address any issues on this new list, if that is agreeable to you gentlemen.
That, Kevin, are you calling that one that I like that looks like this?
No, it's an org
To the
chart.
new list? Or are you calling
I'm
that?
actually going off the one that Braden sent.
Okay, all right. Because that one I sent you guys was just from last year, just for reference.
Okay.
And so, yeah,
So,
so there may have been some things
Yeah.
wrong on there that are right on here.
Okay.
right,
So are we all working?
so I'm on the, why don't you give Kelly, can she make a copy of that? Get a copy so Kelly knows what we're talking about. You got the.
I've got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay, so it shows the realignment under Kevin and I, and under me, it had IT and custodial, and I didn't have the weed board. So you're proposing putting the weed board from your side to this side?
Well, let's look at the other one first, if we may. I would like to look at the one that has all three commissioners on it, if we may. Because that will be our organizational chart
Yeah,
when all three commissioners are back online. And so I would like to address that chart first, and then we could look at the other one.
you have
So
that one, Kelly?
Yes.
Okay,
are we all looking at that one?
yeah.
Okay. I think that there would be some things that I think that we need to do some adjustments on this if we can. I have had a couple of requests for some movement, and then I would have a department that I wouldn't mind seeing, just because it's been something that I've had for years and years. So, which ends up changing quite a few things on here if we do that. So I apologize for that. But I'll give you the request. I have had a couple of requests that the custodial and that the fair board to be moved. And so I think if we could address that first and see if we could do something there. And
Okay, so the custodial and the fair board, which are currently under Tom, right?
that is correct.
I'm looking there, so. Okay, and there's that.
And So I don't know how they would need to be traded out. I would assume for departments under somebody else's. And depending on where we move those.
So currently under you, Kevin, you have, under other is weed board.
Actually,
Is that the wrong thing? I'm looking at the one with 3 on it.
I do not see weed board under myself.
Clear
Weed
to the
board
right.
weed board is under Tom on the one that I have.
Yeah, I knew it was originally, but I don't know why this got moved. What do you see?
I thought you requested to look at the 2021 point of contact list. Is that correct or not?
So I am looking at this one here that Braden sent.
Braden sent
I
us. I
apologize.
pulled up the 3, the one that he sent me is.
So you're looking at the list that Kelly pulled up there a minute
I
ago.
thought you were looking at the point of contact list.
See,
for
look,
2021.
that's not what you have. That's what was sent. Let me look and see, make sure. That's
And,
the one you
yeah,
forwarded to
Weed
me.
board is under Tom on that list.
Oh, yeah, I see it. I see the difference. Yeah.
Okay, so is this the list that we want to work off of?
Yeah, it's
Or
the
do we
current
want to
one.
work off of that point of contact list?
Yeah, there it is. Okay, I got it. No, that's correct. This is the way, this is the way it lined up when you first came in and we said it. Okay, so you want to move custodial and fair board initially.
That are the requests that I have received, yes.
And then what would we put back over there from you? Anything?
If those since you were put on well, I guess you weren't. I'm wondering if fair board I would be willing to, or you are up here in the valley, it may be better for you. That I would defer on that one, I think. And then would send something back to Tom on that.
I don't mind taking it off.
And so if you would like to do the fair board, and if you have something that you would want to send back to Tom on that, would be good.
Yeah, yeah, I can, this be under other, if Tom, if you would like this scenic byway, that's been a fun thing to do, a good thing.
It's up to you guys.
I think they would appreciate it. We might have, I get conflicted on that one a little bit, but it's a very good board. That the scenic byways, for people that don't know, is the roads coming out of Pueblo. You see the signs going back down toward through Rye, and it's a lot of activity, a lot of fun things to talk about, a lot of work also. So if you want to take that, I'll move it over to you. And
Tom, if I took custodial, would you like to take on useful public service? Those are both one employee departments. Would that work for you?
Yep.
One thing I would like to do myself, and I'll throw this out for you two gentlemen, and you can say yay, nay, or whatever. But I've been road and bridge for 25 years. And I kind of know a lot of the ins and outs over there. I was wondering if I could acquire the road and bridge.
When we first talked about it, the reason we didn't do that was because an immediate a transition that was necessary.
And it's not a must for me. It's something that I think I would like and I would enjoy probably, but it's not a.
I do too, by
It's
the
not
way.
something to live and die
No, I
on, so
live-
I'm
I've
just
lived and breathed,
throwing that out there.
If it makes sense to do that, I don't have a problem relinquishing that. I enjoy it. I will keep it. Tom, what do you think?
It's up to you guys.
You're biting a bunch off here up front. You gotta be careful.
Well, I would give you another, I would trade you something back for it that probably has.
I'll see you in Region 3.
So if we were to do that, do you see something there? My first inclination when I was kind of looking at the chart would be public health,
I kind of thought you'd say it.
but that's not a given either. So, and if
That's all right.
if that is not something that works,
It's gotta be something of that magnitude, not, I'm just talking workload wise.
Yes.
It's to be pretty. So if you're really gonna have a yearning desire to get on a blade again, I don't want to see you on the blade.
I have no intentions of. There are days when I would love to, but that's all right. But if that would be all right with you gentlemen, I would like to make that change as well.
All right with me.
If anybody else has anything, I'll hold my peace here now.
We can relook at things. It's important to make sure we're not overloading somewhere and doing the right way with some expertise. It's good to know. So a little more time, who knows where we'll be. I'm good with it, Tom.
Yeah, it's fine. Next year I'll push to put them all in a hat and draw names out of the hat and reestablish all the point of contacts. But this year I think that's fine.
And that may be a pretty good idea. In talking to some other counties and stuff as well, they tend to do a rotation of some sort rather than keeping things.
Yeah, I think rotations
Locked
are
in.
fine. The problem with throwing it in a hat is you load up things with possibly not like a lot of fair board stuff on, as opposed to sharing some other things that take.
We could do different funds. We could do high intense.
Then you could realign it.
We could draw for the intensive workloads and then draw for
Right.
the less workloads separately.
And in the end, there shouldn't be much of a workload because we've got quality people doing it and they're doing their job and we shouldn't be doing their job. So it should be fine either way. So I'm good. Any other?
If you guys are good with what we've done here, I would entertain a motion.
Okay, I move that we realign by the way we just agreed, which would be taking custodial, moving it out of Tom's into you, Kevin, and then taking the fair board from Tom and putting it under me. And what did you give up? I didn't write down.
I traded.
I know why I didn't write down the public health is why. So we'll move public health under me. Okay. That's what.
Did you get all the changes? Okay.
Okay. I moved it. Somebody
Have a
seconded.
motion.
I did move that.
We have a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the organizational chart as amended. Those in favor say aye.
Any discussion?
Or any discussion? Thank you.
Got one.
Who's weed board?
Weed board is Tom. Any other questions, discussion? Those in favor? Bill,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Kevin, aye.
Okay, good.
I would like to change back to the other chart then. Now, the chart that we're working on for the next month or so.
Accordingly, huh?
Yes. If we could make those changes on that chart and otherwise leave it the same, I think that would work well.
Okay.
There, you guys agree
Mhm.
on that?
Yep.
And so that means you have weed board, by the way.
Sorry, I missed the meeting.
So there was a lot of people that missed that meeting, so I think they had 3 people here from what Roger told me. So if we could, I would move that we accept this second chart as amended with the movements coming off of the first chart.
I'll second.
Which chart are you talking about?
I am talking the organizational chart says Board of County Commissioners. It has all of the departments under Bill and myself.
The second one.
Okay. You second.
Mhm.
Okay. Discussion. Any other discussion out here? Okay, those in favor, Bill,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Kevin, aye. Thank you, gentlemen. We will be coming now to the county appointments for the board appointments. And let me get back to that.
You had an F1 to add to that, Cal?
Yeah, those 2 that I sent you this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to the list that I received from Kelly now. That's the 2021 Custer County government appointments. And I'm going to assume that is the proper list to work off of.
Sort of.
Not just not all
Sort
of
of.
them, Ken.
Okay,
So when I got to looking at it on Sunday, I realized that there are a lot of changes that have been made during the last year that didn't get changed on this chart. So,
The one he's looking at is not that one. It's the, it has.
oh, you got that, yes, yes. So that one should be good,
is that the one you're,
except for.
or are you on the one that's boxed?
The one that Kevin's got up now does not
The
include,
government appointments.
yeah, they're just,
Are, yeah,
there are no weed boards or
Yeah.
those kinds of things. So in this
So we will
case,
need to, does the one that you
There's
had
just
have
a-
all of that on it?
yes.
Both sides?
It does.
Okay, let me
There's
go back
just a
and find that one.
few changes that happened during last year that didn't get updated on here too. The VSO and finance director didn't get.
Okay, I now have that one. So it's the 2021 appointments made to serve on regional boards and commission by unanimous vote.
so,
Yeah, and that's not technically correct either, but doesn't have to be a unanimous vote. I don't know why that's in there,
I don't know why that's in there either.
but that's the document I'm looking at.
Okay, yes, that's the document. When we make our decision.
What date and what time? I want to get on the same sheet. Is that the one you just sent out?
So you're not looking at that.
No, I went back to the one that you had,
One
that you
we
said
approved
needed
last year.
updated anyway.
Okay. What's the date and time so I can pull that one up?
That's
I
on
sent it to
the
you
board
Sunday.
packet that you received.
Okay, it's on the board pack, on the original one on Sunday?
Mhm.
Okay, yes. All right, we're on the same sheet. Okay, so I move that we accept the government appointments as presented on most recent sheet. Is that what Which one are we looking at?
No, because
needs to
that's the
be-
one that there needs to be. some
Oh,
There's a lot of
changes.
changes that need to be.
Okay, so we're gonna have to take a look at those.
We're gonna have to go
changes
through it.
I would
I thought we
recommend
did.
we go through one at a time.
then. Right.
So we'll look, let's look at 911 Authority Board, first item. And we have Tom Flower and Bill Kanda on that, whose terms both expire this year. So
Unless you want to serve on that, I'm fine with leaving it the way it is.
I am good with that.
I am too.
That is a one-year appointment always, so we just change those to 23.
Let's let you have a break here while you're learning. So I move that we accept it as presented, 911 Authority Board with Tom Flower, Bill Candy.
I need to change the expiration date.
Expiration dates to be updated.
For
All these will have to be.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to leave the appointees the same on that 911 Authority Board. Discussion. Those in favor? Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin? Aye. Action 22. We have, these are also one-year terms, Charles Bogle, Bill Kanda, Kevin Day, Tom Flower, and Chuck Steigerwald. To be honest, was there even any? I did not make anything on these this year. Were there any meetings on
Yes,
that?
I'm a board member, so's Charles Bogle, I believe, on the Action 22 board, as well as opposed to just being in the Action 22.
Okay, so you have made those because
So I would like to stay that way. I'll stay on. I don't know that we need 3 commissioners in there. If you want to do it, Kevin, sure can.
So,
It's good to have a number of people because the county should be represented at all their meetings, because this is a board that gets into the business of supporting the counties as a group legislatively at the state level and bringing in good things to lobby. It's like a committee that supports the actions that are important to the counties.
I would move that we approve those appointments listed.
I second it.
discussion.
Those are one-year appointments as well.
Update those.
They are.
We're good.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin, aye. Airport Board, these are 3-year terms.
You have to update this. We need to.
That was the only board that wasn't able to
Right.
get a hold of anybody, so I don't, other than Lynn, I don't know.
I can help there, and I know Brian, I don't know what happened either. But in any case, we do need to, Lynn LeBrie, as we know, passed away. But the other one is Bob, can't pronounce his name, Guacamole. I don't think he's there any longer. But
Well, his term doesn't expire until 24.
24 anyway, so who's the other one? It was, then I'm up to them to update that.
So Eric Vickery is expiring this year.
JC's still there, so he would be one we would consider, as well as Vickery.
We haven't gotten any communication from him at all. Huh?
Why don't we just table this for, maybe on a break, I can get them to update that with the names.
And see if those 3 were not.
I know that, I know JC does, and I know that that Brian is going to assume the role as the, already has, and so he's staying as the chairman. They voted for him to do that. I know those for fact. The only one I'm questioning is Vickery.
Okay, on a break, if you could get a hold of them.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll bring it back up for them.
Let's move on then. Arkansas Basin Roundtable. We have Keith Hood, whose term expires. Is that a one-year term?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's willing to serve again.
I nominate, I move that we accept Keith's willingness to stay and keep him in there. I nominate Keith to be in there for another year.
Second. Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have Planning Commission and BZA. These are one-year terms.
Associates to,
And Jackie said that, I'm gonna help you, Jackie.
we have some letters of interest. on that.
The associates now, well, she has as Justin, Drew, and Carol Bahinger. And you do have a letter from Carol. Justin, I think, got appointed,
Last year.
yeah, I think he was on there last
Yeah.
year.
And then I believe that Mary had moved off of the,
Yeah, she's moved to Planning Commission.
so she's no longer an associate. So who's the, we're replacing her with Carol?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because she moved off last.
and I believe, does that list show some people to go on to BZA as well? Could you read that for us?
We're just dealing with the
Associates.
Just the
associates.
associate.
Oh, this is all the associates. Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I'd move to accept Drew and Bahinger as the associates.
I'll second it.
Term expired in 23.
23 updated, 1 year. 1 year. Okay.
Discussion? Those in favor? Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin? Aye. Our Attainable Housing Board. This is a one-year term as well. The ones that we have on here at present are Charles Bogle, Steve Laswell, Mike Liebman, Newell Woodbury, and Amanda Allen, who is a UACOG rep, on there as a tiebreaker.
Before you go further, can I make a suggestion? Ken?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of these. Maybe we ought to look, if there's nothing changed, and we know that they have made the recommendation to change, to update the member as it is written, I would move that we would work to, I would like to see us just vote on that without even discussing it, otherwise we're not going to get through this. Unless there's a significant change that we need to discuss. So just an idea I'm throwing out.
Until we look at them, or do we know which ones
That's
those
how
are?
I'm going to count on Kelly to tell us if there's a change on this.
Yeah, and the Attainable Housing Board, that was another one that I don't know.
So-
Mike Liebman was the only one oh no,
No,
Okay,
I've got
two.
some others.
Yeah.
I would move that we
Mhm.
remove Newell Woodbury and insert Bob Fulton for a 1-year term.
Yeah, I'll second that, and that's a good choice.
Okay. Have a motion and a second on the floor. Discussion on that? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
then I would move we reappoint the other three for
Yeah, they-
1-year terms.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
And that's up to them to pick the chair.
Yeah, that's their choice.
I'm assuming.
These are just members.
Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, nobody's coming up on the,
Nobody's on that board. This, for the record, is the Board of Zoning Adjustment that I'm looking at, right?
yes,
And there's no changes, no.
3-year term and they're not.
Actually, she's adding 2 because she said it's normally a 5-member board. And so,
Okay,
she's adding Deb Adams and John Decker,
So
Recommending that we,
recommending, yeah.
BZA,
Yes,
BZA, 3-year terms. Deb Adams and John Decker is who she is recommending adding to that board.
did she send that out to everybody or was that just to you
I have no idea.
That came on an email.
from Jackie?
Yeah,
Jackie.
probably. Yeah, she sent it to you guys. She just sent it to me just recently, but she had sent it to you guys earlier.
its terms would expire in January 25.
Move that we add Deb Adams and John Decker to the BZA board for a 3-year term expiring in January of 2025.
Second.
Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would also move that we,
Before you make that
oh,
motion, can
we
I
don't
make a
need to do
suggestion?
anything
Yeah,
on that. Okay,
because
they're not expiring, so. Central Front Range Transportation and Planning Region, Tom is on that board. It is expiring this year.
It's an annual appointment.
I move that we leave that the same.
I'll second.
Discussion? Those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Colorado Film Commission, those are 1-year appointments as well. We have Tom Flower and Jerry Draper on those. I would assume Jerry Draper's willing to stay on that.
That's correct.
So I would also move that we leave that the same.
I'll second that. And just a quick question. Do you guys do a lot there? I haven't seen anything, Tom.
No, we've not met this year. We had a discussion about trying to get some momentum going to the Colorado Film Commission. But we've not.
Any other discussion? Those in favor? Bill?
Aye.
Tom? Kevin, aye. Custer County Attorney. Glad to see that Mr. Smith is back with us today. And he has expressed an interest to continue as our county attorney to myself. I would move that we continue as is there.
I don't know whether we ought to second that or not.
Just first pickings.
I'll second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I'm questioning why he's on this list. You have any idea, Kelly, about that?
Yeah, last year you wanted to put him on this list, but he never got taken off that other list. So he's always been on
You know,
We have to look at him from one point.
we
that
really don't
list.
appoint him, we hire him. He's under contract with us. So I don't know why.
And this other list just kind of says that he is our county attorney.
Right.
So do we need to remove that from this list?
What do you think, Clint?
Well, there's a statute that says you do need to appoint a county attorney annually,
Okay,
which is generally done as an independent contractor. I mean, you could
So we
hire
appoint him and then
an
we write a
attorney as a
contract.
salary employee if you wanted to, but it's generally as an independent contractor.
Well, and the reason for that isn't it because you're not a county employee in that sense, like,
Correct.
you know, it's, you're appointed and then contracted.
But it is statutory that you do need to appoint a county
So that
attorney.
you're looked at every year. It's not a lifelong thing like a
Supreme Court judge.
Yeah, like Supreme Court, yeah. Wait a minute, you're getting a little grandiose again. on this.
Yeah.
and I'd suggest we leave it on here.
All right, so we do have a motion and a second to keep Clint Smith as the county attorney. Any other discussion? Those in favor, Bill,
Aye.
Tom,
All right,
Kevin, I.
It's close.
Dodged the bullet. So Custer County Tourism Board, this is a 3-year term. The Candace McDaniel was an ex officio expiring in January of 22. Everyone else.
Yeah, and I emailed Deb Adams about this to find out who was on here and who's not, to make sure our list was right. Jenny Anderson, she said, is no longer on there, and Bob Swanson and Candace McDaniel's not the ex officio.
she's not the ex officio, or she's not on the.
She's not
Not
no
listed
longer
on-
on the
okay,
board
all right.
as ex officio.
I believe,
And so she gave me some other names here that they didn't have, but I don't know.
Meaning she's not on the board, she's not being on the board, period.
Candace?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Debbie Adams is on our live stream. I would suggest we ask her for any clarification.
Are you on, Debbie?
Yes, I am. Bob Swanson resigned in May because of work. Candace McDaniel resigned in June because of work. Jenny Anderson opted not to renew a new term. So I did submit a few weeks ago a letter of recommendation from the board with the letters of interest from the new applicants. Would you like me to tell you who those applicants are?
Wait 1 second, Debbie, got a quick question. Our list here says Jenny is not up for a renewal. She's through 23. Is
She's
that not
declined.
true?
She's not on there anymore.
No,
Fine.
no, her term was up this month, and she's
Okay.
doing more volunteerism with
Okay.
the I don't want to call it the old age home, but I don't know what to call it.
Alan?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Assisted living is what it's called. Okay, that's all I had a question. You don't have to go any further. The list I have shows her is still in an active term, not that it expired in 22.
I did read your email, Debbie. I believe it'd be helpful if you'd go through your list again.
Yeah.
Okay, so who we are recommending for 3-year terms, Leanne Bear. I did send you letters, so I hope you were able to look at them because I don't have them in front of me, but Leanne Bear comes with a wonderful skill set, is very enthusiastic. She's an ambassador for the Welcome Center. We feel she will be a great asset for the tourism board. The other person is Carolyn Allsdorf, also a very impressive resume. And these are 2 new people that have a lot of energy and enthusiasm for tourism. So those we're hoping become 3-year terms. And then we are requesting Jeanette Stagerwald as an ex officio member. She is also an ambassador for the Welcome Center and someone who just is very, once again, enthusiastic and bubbly and just wants to really be able to provide her input with how we can make the visitor experience a better one.
Debbie, that ex officio 1 year,
Yes.
correct?
Thank you very much.
And have you guys had elections? Do you have a current or a chairman coming on for 2022, I'm sorry.
Yes, we just had a board meeting last week and no one else wanted the job, so it's still me.
Okay,
That's kind of that train whistle, isn't it? So,
Okay, I move that we accept the recommendations from the tourism board as presented by Debbie to replace the people that have resigned. And to include the Ms. Steigerwald as your ex officio member for this coming year.
second.
okay, I have a motion and a second to accept the recommendations from the tourism board. Discussion. Those in favor, Bill,
All right,
Tom,
All right,
Kevin, aye.
Thank you. I hope you've had the opportunity to read the article in the Tribune. It was a review of our accomplishments for 2021.
yep, did see it.
Thank you.
Okay, next up.
All right. Oops, I pulled up the wrong one. I changed my email when I did that. Forgive me for a second. Here we are. Sorry for that. Custer Emergency Service at the present time is Bill Kanda and myself. Expiring, these are one-year terms. Any desire to change that?
I'm good leaving it.
I move that we leave that the same.
okay.
Discussion? Those in favor, say aye.
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 I think that whole meeting format's changed a little bit. I don't know if you guys have been attending CES meetings per se, but
No.
that format changed a year ago. Leave it. I'm not sure it's appropriate or applicable
Yes.
anymore, but
Different.
conversation we could have with Adrian, I guess.
Yes. There is no date, SCRETAC for the licensure for the ambulances.
Yeah, they do that annually by statute.
Okay,
Okay,
would move that we continue with SCRETAC for the licensure and inspection for the ambulance service.
second.
Discussion. Those in favor, Bill,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Kevin, aye. Enterprise zone, we have two that are expiring. I think these are one-year terms as well. We have Charles Vogel as an alternate, and we have Wendy Rusk on that enterprise zone.
I would recommend we table this until chair has the opportunity to speak with those people. I think that's changed.
Okay,
I would move to table.
I'll second it. Hold them on.
it's been moved to table this item. Discussion. Those in favor? Bill,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Kevin, aye. Extension Advisory Board, these are 3-year terms. I'm not seeing any that are coming up at this time.
I talked to Guinevere this morning and Mary Gumpf is no longer on there. Everybody else stays the same. Jared McLean got added last year. So he's got an expiration of,
He's not on our list.
no, because we're updating this list.
Oh,
This list didn't get updated throughout the year.
I see.
Year.
Okay, good.
When's his term expire?
I thought she told me 125.
125.
That's what I wrote.
Should be.
Okay. I move that we accept the membership as presented for the Extension Advisory Board to update it to include Jared McLean and remove Mary Gump. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Yes. Second. Discussion. Those in favor, Bill,
Aye.
Tom,
Right.
Kevin, aye. Fair
And she
board.
also gave me some updates on the Fair Board.
Okay,
Brianna Ebert, Renetta Gilmore, Diane Rose, Irene Saley, and Trent Stafford are all going off. They don't want to be back on there. And then,
Can you go over those again, please? Peter Gilmore.
yeah, Diane Rose, Irene Saley, and Trent Stafford.
Stanford, wow.
And then she's recommending to put on Iris Supan and Reggie Foster.
Who is she?
Guinevere.
Whenever
so that the
we're taking
fair
three off
board
and
will be
adding-
dropping to,
Dropping 1, 2, 5 and adding 2.
okay, so dropping 3 total. Okay. And okay,
I move we accept the recommendations as presented by Kelly. Dropping 5, adding 2. The 3 that I got leaving were Rose, Saley, is that what the other one was, and Stafford, and then adding Supan and Reggie. What were the other 2 that we got across?
Everett was 1.
Yeah,
And Gilmore.
oh, Gilmore, yeah, all right.
Second. Any discussion on that?
So the current fair board then would be Supan, Foster, Gonzalez, and Wendy Rusk. Is that correct?
Yes. And Kyle and Guinevere is ex officio.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'm not sure what their bylaws call for membership. I could look, but I suspect they're gonna have to add some more.
I'm going to assume that's all that they have at this point currently.
Yeah.
Okay, those in favor of the changes as presented for the fair board.
Aye.
Bill, Tom,
Aye.
And I will talk.
Kevin, aye.
Membership.
Cell committee,
We have to pick that, or is that an internal thing? Why is it on here?
We appoint to cell committee.
We have to appoint the cell committee.
Yeah, yes, I don't know if we have to, but
I'm showing Gonzalez, Melissa Gonzalez as coming up this year. The others are not.
And she didn't say anything about sale committee.
yeah, I move we table these as well until we get some input.
Don't understand.
Obviously gonna be some changes there, in my opinion.
Okay,
Because the sale committee is not necessarily part of the fair board, is that the way I'm reading it? So that's probably why we ought to divide it then.
They are a subcommittee of the cell committee, or the fair board. We have historically appointed them because they have their own checking account.
I understand that. I'm just wondering why. If they're part of the fair board itself, then why? default.
Okay,
I have a motion on the table. so-
I apologize, I thought we called it. Discuss, any other discussion on that?
We'll table it till when?
Till whoever's in charge or point of contact from the third board.
Yeah,
has
that would be
a
me.
chance to.
Who was the second on that?
I'll second it. I don't think there was one.
My mistake, sirs. Those in favor of tabling this until we can get more information, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Planning Commission, 3-year terms. I am seeing the ones expiring this year is Vic Barnes, Bill Donnelly, Del Mullen, who has expressed a desire not to return.
Actually, Mary Mowry, replaced Dale last year.
Well, Dale
Dale's
just
been on the board.
resigned.
He just.
Oh, he did?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's just what Jackie did.
They brought her on last year, but Dale was a member until today. So I would move, we remove Dale Mullen, add Mary Mowry for a 3-year term expiring in 25.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Those in favor, Bill,
Aye.
Tom, Kevin, aye.
And I would move, we reappoint Vic Barnes and Bill Donnelly for 3-year terms.
And she's also got Skip Northcross on here.
Yeah.
And she says he needs reappointed.
And then I would add to my motion so that we appoint Skip Northcross, Bill Donnelly, Vic Barnes for 3-year terms.
I would second that. Discussion.
How many are we adding to it then? It was just Mowry.
Mary would be replacing Del Mullen, and the one ad would be
Barnes, Donnelly, and Northcross.
North Cross. It's not on this list. Thank you. Any other discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
So just for clarification, Kelly Barnes, Donnelly, Hood, Northcross, Mowry, Shields, and Wendland.
Yes.
How much longer Daryl's going to stay on that? He's getting pretty famous. And tell Planning Commission and Westcliff goodbye. Go into the film business full time.
Never know.
I haven't seen him yet. I've watched very carefully on all the 1883. Pardon?
In the first episode.
He's in the first episode.
Was he an extra? I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an extra in 1883. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, it's wild. I just couldn't believe it when he told me that. I went, you gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna rip him up.
Yeah, I talked to him about that.
So do you actually get your name on the screen if you're an extra?
If it does, it goes by in a hurry. Yeah.
Only when you.
You got a freeze frame.
Only if you say something. From what I understand. You're part of the crowd. You're just part of the crowd.
So at this point, he's probably only getting an also participated.
Yeah, he told me they don't let him go over into the camp and talk to the stars.
I hate that. He probably doesn't even get to eat off the same food.
No, I doubt it. They probably bring them back lunches.
Well, that's cool. Seeing byways, if we can get through, or no, we got not too many more. If we can get through these, let us take a quick break. Scenic
We're gonna update this one then, right? So you're talking about scenic byways.
Scenic byways. And it has you on here at the present time.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
Yes, I think that would be Tom on that, correct?
That's what let's update that.
So I move that we replace Bill Kanda with Tom Flower on the scenic byways for a 1-year term.
Second. I'm not opposed to traveling.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Those in favor, Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin, aye.
Yeah, me, the Colorado City, pretty nice building.
So we have SCRETAC representatives. These are 1-year terms as well. At the present time, we have Rob Fogel, Matt Nolting, and Patrick Fior.
Since you're the chairman, I'll pay you that $10 if you can correctly identify what SCRETAC means.
Southern Colorado Regional.
Oh, you've got it written down, you dirty dog.
I didn't get the last two, but rip it in half. All of them. I had to work through it.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
So I hate acronyms, even ones I know.
I would move we accept those of, well, no, Fogel's done. Right, Kelly, he's no longer,
I don't, this is another one I
I
don't
think we
know.
maybe ought to table this, Mr. Chairman. Rob Fogel, I think, is out of the picture.
I don't know. Okay, I move we table that till
We can get more
whoever can figure out
information.
who to call for this acronym.
I suppose,
I'd say maybe the chairman could handle that.
That's my motion.
okay. I would,
And then we do need an alternate as well. Whether it's Justine or someone else, but we do have to have an alternate.
okay.
Did somebody second that? And I missed it.
I second.
He did that very quietly.
I was writing, so I couldn't talk, but I would second that motion. Any discussion? Those in favor of tabling this till we get more information? Bill?
Aye.
All
Tom?
right,
Kevin, aye. We have Southern Colorado Economic Development District. At the present time, it is Charles Vogel and myself on that board. What's your pleasure?
I move we keep it the same, update it to reflect the, what are they, 1-year terms
They are 1-year term.
right now, and you just getting your feet wet, you finally know how to pronounce cog.
So we're actually, we're not quite to UACOG yet. We're at SCAD, which is Southern Colorado Economic Development District.
You did know how.
I can give you UACOG too. I've been to way too many of the meetings for these two organizations, so,
exactly why you're the chairman.
all right. So,
You okay with that, staying on that?
I think so, yes. Developing some rapport with some of the people there at SCAD.
Plus he likes traveling to Salida. It's a long trip from Wetmore.
Probably gonna take on a whole new level of activity now that we're bringing on SCAD for broadband projects.
Okay,
So I have a motion. Did we have a second on that?
If not, I will.
Okay, any other discussion? Those in favor, Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Aye. Now we have UACOG, Upper Arkansas Area Council of Governments. At the present time, we have Charles Vogel, Tom Flower, and Chuck Steigerwald as the business rep.
The last 3 workforce meetings have conflicted with our commissioner meetings, so I have not, but historically I've attended those meetings usually in Canyon City.
Some of
I
them are,
agree, we leave them as they are,
I would second that.
and we treat those as a 1-year appointment as well.
I sat in for you on one of me. They were pretty good ones, Salina. Worth doing.
Okay, those in favor of leaving those appointments the same? Bill?
Aye.
Tom? Kevin, aye.
No Steigerwald will do it.
And now we have, that was the workforce. We now have the Upper Arkansas Area Council of Governments Board. And that is Charles Vogel and myself.
I move to leave those.
I'll say it.
Any other discussion?
We should have said reappoint, sorry. Okay with that, serving on that.
Yes. All right. Hearing no discussion, those in favor, Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin, aye. Weed Advisory Board, these are 1-year terms.
Downey's out.
Okay.
Yeah, down the, where's that?
Cole Mush Rush is out.
I don't see him on mine.
I didn't even have him on here. so
Yeah,
it's
we're on
really
this
out.
list
Yeah,
here.
I've not been there.
Roger Warren was on there, was appointed, but we've never been able to contact him. So I would suggest we remove him as well.
Roger Warren.
Mhm.
Okay, he's not on my
Roger
list.
Squires, yeah. Roger Gray.
My list is showing Sharon Berry, Bill Donnelly, Dick Downey, Roger Gregg, Jeff Uthier. I got that one right. Linda Poole, Vince Cook, Clint Smith, and Roger Squire
Correct.
is who I am showing.
Okay.
The thing they removed was Dick Downey so far.
You're not quite accurate with your list there, but
Okay, so you have,
Tim Krejci, Krejci.
KREJCI.
JCI.
Tim,
Tim, yes. And Tina Jones is a member of that advisory board as well. Probably need to reach out to Roger Squire and see what membership is.
would you like to table this then until,
I suspect we better, yes, sir.
I would move that we table this one until we get more accurate information on the membership of this.
Second,
Any discussion?
who's the point of contact?
That would be Bill.
That would be me. So,
Those in favor, Bill,
aye.
Tom,
Right,
Kevin, aye. West Custer County Library Board, these are 3-year terms.
I emailed her also because I knew that they had had a bunch of changes throughout the year last year that we did. And pretty much that list that you have, the only one that's left on there is Renee Tobin. Otherwise, everybody else is new,
But then no, we didn't.
but you
We considered it.
do those throughout the year as they do them. So this list is just not updated.
Today.
I can give you the names if you would like, or I can just update the list. I can give you the names, then you can.
yeah, we need to vote on it.
When we changed on our last meeting, we had a discussion about the new chairman, right? Library board. Can we vote on that?
You voted on on 2 new members.
Right.
I don't remember talking about chairman, but
No, maybe one, I knew it was two members that were
Yeah.
agreeing to
That would be probably up to them to
figure out. who
place
the
their
chairman
chair.
is.
Yeah.
If you could read us a list real quick and then throw the dates in if you have those.
So Terry Matthews, she or he expires in 22. Claudia Cole in 22. Amy Bauer, Bauer in 22. Richard Hacker in 25. He's one that we just did
Mhm.
just recently. Renee Tobin in 23. Allison Graber, Graber in 23. And Robert Gardner in 25. Hacker and Gardner, this is their first term. A couple of the other ones were replacing, Terry Matthews was replacing Dave Heppy. Claudia Cole was replacing Nicole Parsons. Renee replaced Debbie Rabinowitz, and Allison replaced James Gerhardt.
So JD, Henrich, Hacker, Gardner, Matthews, Cole, Bauer, Graber, and Tobin.
JD's no longer on there.
Okay. So 7.
Yes.
We have 3 that were expiring 22. Oh, that's 12 of 22
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they'll, because their terms run through.
My mistake. I was seeing January on all these and then all of a sudden we
Yeah.
have
We're
12.
the only ones.
Yeah, they're the only ones.
So I would make a motion to accept the West Custer County Library Board as presented by Kelly.
I'll second.
Discussion. Those in favor, Bill,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Kevin, aye. Wetmore Community Center Board, these are 1-year terms. I know this list is not up to date. Did you receive a list from them?
I did not.
Okay, I can speak to that. Nancy Cruz is no longer with them. And Julie Fall has taken her place. And to the best of my knowledge, all those individuals are willing to continue on.
Margie White included.
Margie White included, I think.
We'll appoint Judy Fall to that board. Your term.
Second that. Discussion. Those in favor, Bill,
Aye.
Tom, Kevin, aye.
They're always a 1-year term, Kevin.
Yes. And I would move to accept the list with Julie Fall added to that for the for this coming year.
Okay. I'll second it. You need a second on that?
Yes, I think. Any discussion? Those in favor of accepting this list as amended? Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin? Aye. Down to our last one here, Wetmore Community Library Board. Did you receive anything from them? I have not spoken to Nan on this list either. I believe that they are already willing to do it. If we have any questions, we could table this if you'd like for me to contact someone down there.
I would move we reappoint them for 1-year term.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to reappoint the existing Wetmore Community Library Board members. Any discussion? Those in favor? Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin, aye. Okay, I think at this point,
I want to move on, so
yes,
before we leave this, if I may. We are supposed to get a list of recommendations from each one of these organizations. Obviously, that has not happened. I don't know what we do to correct that, but it definitely needs to be addressed. I would suggest, at least initially, that the point of contact people be charged with at least following up. Our admin assistant had sent out notices, but not a lot of follow-up there for obvious reasons. So I just think we need to address this and get this cleaned up. We should get documentation from every one of these other than the 3 of us to indicate their willingness to serve or willingness to reappoint. Tourism did a great job. I just think we need to look at this process again. It's really not Kelly's job to do it, although they did send their stuff to Kelly. I get that, but I don't think we can expect Kelly to track them down and find out. So
I'm gonna jump on that with you. I wrote down in big black letters here, the process, and actually we did talk about it a couple months ago. Nothing gets on this agenda unless it's been, we do have people is prepared. We have to have stuff that we can read, and we have stuff we can vote on. We don't have to sit here and table things and go get it. And I wrote that down in big black letter. Part of the problem on this particular meeting was a lot of things have happened between when letters started coming in. Tina has resigned, and it's not because Kelly didn't pick up the ball, and we also have Peggy volunteering too. But we need to enforce that. And we probably shouldn't have even gone through this today, period, until we got it. There's no reason to have the public waste their time and us waste our time. And I've mentioned it before, Fremont County has 500, I'm exaggerating, 100 items on their agenda. They get done in an hour and a half. And the reason is because they look at it beforehand and they don't take the public's time to go and hash through things that they already know. So, I'm all for cleaning up our act, doing a better job.
They have a consent agenda is the big one.
That's right.
Day-to-day business you guys can discuss
That's
without
That's
violating sunshine laws. So
That's absolutely right. And when we get into details, I think too much on the business within the departments. We don't have to have a public meetings when we're managing the business after the public's already seen us approve a budget, and as long as we stay in that. So we just need to get more comfortable doing that and not nitpicking stuff. So I agree.
So I would assume then that the stuff we tabled, we will address at our next meeting.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, right. I think we should not worry about trying to fix things in this meeting, and we'll just take it off and we'll just reset stuff. And if you do not get anything, we're not putting it on. And that board is just going to have to wallow if they're in the middle of wallowing until they come back and we get it. And if it's an emergency, then we can consider a quick rehash and have a quick meeting, public meeting, a special meeting to do those things, but not why there's no emergencies with the fair board that I know for now. So, all right.
For clarification, Mr. Chairman, then we tabled the enterprise zone. Who's going to take care of that?
Let's see, the enterprise zone was back to
I can reach out to Charles if you'd like.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, you can sort of.
And then,
So we had the weed.
We had the airport, we had the weed board, and we had the fair board.
so,
The same.
they're gonna take care of that.
Yeah. I wrote that down. My gig.
And then,
All right, we
RETAC. Kevin, did you say you were gonna
I can do RETAC.
take care of that?
And I will get with both of the entities from Wetmore to make sure they get a list.
And who's doing the weed board?
I am, so we'll rehash it again. We are, as,
If you don't mind, I'm just making a record of who's gonna follow up.
well, I do mind because I do agree, Kevin, or Tom. And I thought we all had taken those notes when we did it. And a lot of this we can clean up without sitting here and redoing it again for everybody that's sitting there. That's just my own comment.
I did not have a list of who was touching the base either, so that's why I'm going through it now as well.
Got it, that's okay.
So I have you for weeds, I have myself for enterprise. Fair board would be you as well, correct?
Yeah,
And airport as well, and I have RETAC. Do we have any others that we tabled?
Okay.
Okay, so,
I hate to ask, Bernadette Castillo.
she has, yes, she's no longer, she has died.
Thank you.
Was she on one of these lists?
She was library board.
Okay, so she is no
So I
longer on the
just-
library board.
Didn't want to blurt that out because I wasn't sure my memory was correct, but.
No, she did pass away.
thought So, all right, thank you.
So I will, are we going to table the rest of this list until we get this, or just, would you guys like to adopt the ones that we did make changes to and approve and just revisit these?
Well, we voted to approve the appointments that we
voted.
made.
We already
So
voted.
those should stand.
Yeah,
Kelly's got a
stand.
record of that.
Okay,
I would move that we remove Bernadette Castillo from the library board.
I would second that motion. I apologize for not catching that.
Okay.
Those in favor?
aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin, aye.
And Mary's last name is Abrahams, right? Not Abrams.
It's actually Abrams,
It is, okay. Well, cool.
so probably second A would need to go away.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
So we will revisit these other 5 when we get
At the next meeting, is
documentation at the next meeting.
that our objective anyway?
Yes.
or whenever we get the correct data to put on there, because I will not put anything on if I don't get any information in time for the meeting. That's
Right.
the rule.
My
That's what
point was, we will follow up
make.
next month, I mean, next meeting. If we're not gonna table this till June, it's-
No.
we're expecting to deal with this next meeting.
As soon as
Yes,
possible.
Okay.
that needs to happen. Okay,
Yeah, to Bill's point, he might go to the fair board and say, hey, what about cell committee? Well, we don't know. So it might not get done,
That's
but
right.
that's our
Right.
objective, correct? To get it done by
Correct,
next
and
meeting.
Right. We're
Because
gonna
it
make
should have
sure
been done
that we
today.
don't present something that isn't complete. And I was trusting you guys to do your thing on yours and that we already checked. And I didn't write down, Tom, what you were gonna do. I just wrote down what I had done here. That's why I was trying to save time. Okay, you're up.
all righty. That is all I have here. I would,
We still have to do that list.
go back to it. The government
we still have
appointments.
it.
Yeah.
Do you have stuff on it that
Okay, if you guys want to pull that up, and then I would call for a 5-minute break at this point, and we will address the 2021 Custer County government appointments at be 10:50. We will reconvene.
all right.
You're live, Ken.
Come in here.
Oh,
You're live.
all righty, so I'll reconvene the meeting after our short break. I would like to actually amend our agenda if I may, rather than going through the government appointments at this time, because our newspaper of record will be on that list. So I would like to actually address the newspaper of record first, and then we can address this list.
Is that a motion, sir?
That is a motion.
I'll second it. To amend, correct?
That is correct. Any discussion? Okay, those in favor, Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin? Aye. Okay, so the next item on our agenda would be the newspaper of record. And I believe Clint has some information for us.
I have two bids here, one from the Wet Mountain Tribune and one from the Sangre de Cristo Sentinel. So I'll open the one from the Tribune first. It was received on December 29, 2021. The letter is dated December 22, 2021 from Jordan Hedberg, publisher, to the Custer County Board of Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to submit an offer for the legal bids for Custer County. For over a century, the Wet Mountain Tribune has been proud to share all the news and legal information of Custer County with our readers. We hope to continue that relationship. Excuse me, gentlemen. The Wet Mountain Tribune is the largest newspaper by subscription, newsstand sales, and digital editions in Custer County, with an average 2,075 editions sold in and out of county every week. Please see the attached USPS statement of ownership for more details. Our bid is as follows. Statutory legal notices, 0.09 cents per line. Non-statutory legal notices, 25 cents per line. Please let me know if you have any questions. I would be happy to answer. Sincerely, Jordan Hedberg. And then there's accompanying information regarding circulation of the information that's required by the U.S. Postal Service.
Could you give us a circulation number, please?
Average 2,075 editions sold in and out of county every week.
Thank you.
And just to repeat those numbers, because there are two kinds of legal notices. The publicly supported legal notices, and that's really what's being bid on here. There are also privately supported legal notices, and although those are traditionally bid upon, the private parties could choose to publish in whichever paper satisfies the legal requirements. But again, the statutory legal notice is 0.09 cents per line. Non-statutory legal notices, 25 cents per line. And Mr. Hedberg, sir, I'm assuming that satisfies all the statutory requirements as to the size of the type and everything that's required.
Yeah, it's an arcane publishing terminology, 6 picas per line, but that's the standard we have to bid on.
So if I may, you said statutory was 0.09 cents, or is it 9 cents?
Is it 9 cents?
0.09.
0.09 cents.
So it's
Okay.
less than a penny, hundreds of a penny.
Can you say that again?
That doesn't make sense.
Point
Well, maybe I'm
0.09.
0.09 cents. I'm sorry.
Point,
Because you had 0.25, I thought you'd have 0.9. or the bid is actually 9 cents.
So it's 9 cents a line.
$0.09, $0.25.
Yeah, I did 0 point.
Okay.
Yeah, 0.09
I
cents.
just wanted to clarify that. I was.
Right, same here.
Thanks here.
I should have done it like a check and also written.
So
up
it's
what-
9 cents and 25 cents. Keep it simple.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
The one from the Sentinel. Have you done by noon?
Will do my best, sir.
Open it with your hip.
This is a letter signed by George Gramlich as managing editor of the San Bernardino Cristo Sentinel, dated December 24, 2021. And it's regarding bid for statutory and non-statutory legal publication bids for 2022. As per your bid request for a legal publication bid for 2022, the following is our bid. Publicly supported legal notice or advertisement statutory, 19 cents per line for the first insertion and 15 cents per line for subsequent insertions. Privately supported legal notice or advertisement, non-statutory, 35 cents per line for all insertions. Quoted rates are prorated as per statute for other column widths and top type size requested. Also, please note that the Sentinel has run the county's legal notices in larger type than legally required for easier reading whenever possible at no cost to the county. We will continue to do so if awarded the bid. We sincerely appreciate the opportunity to bid on Custer County's legal publications and look forward to a great partnership. And attached is also the required U.S. Postal Service forms regarding circulation. And I'm not sure how to read this for those numbers, but those are the bids. And
You can't give us a circulation
Read
number.
every day. Got to be there.
And they use the PDF form, which is often better. So it should be towards the end is where you do the full tally of digital in and out of county.
He's got paid electronic copies, total paid print copies, total print distribution. So I guess I will read those. For paid electronic copies, 213. For each issue during the preceding 12 months. The number of copies of single issues published nearest to filing date. That first number was an average, a monthly average, as I understand it. Number of copies of single issues published nearest to filing date, 179. Total paid print copies. The average is 1,062 for 12 months. The number of copies of single issue published nearest to filing date, 1,015. Total print distribution, which is a combination, is again, I'm not sure I'm reading these numbers correctly, but he's got total print distribution, average copies for 12 months, 1,172. Number of copies of single issue, nearest to the filing date, 1,124. But I would prefer to have this submitted to the commissioners for questions about that, because I'm not sure if I'm really understanding the circulation information in here, but the bids were then, and I took 0.09 to mean, 1/9 of a cent.
Yeah, it's 9/100 of a dollar.
That was 9 cents
9
per
cents.
line for the publicly supported legal notice and 35 cents for the privately supported legal notices. So,
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept Wet Mountain Tribune's bid for the paper of record for 2022.
Second, do we have a discussion?
Yeah, personally, I don't support that. A couple reasons. It doesn't have to be the low bid necessarily. It has to be whether it meets the needs of the county, and the circulation number doesn't matter. I know the Pueblo paper down there has a circulation of 990, I think, for some of their stuff. But the point is, I don't know why I would support a paper that doesn't support the county, who has personally gone on a my view, a witch hunt on a director of our health department that can and possibly, and I've heard me say this before, injure people of the county with misinformation on what's going on, and or trusting the people that are there to serve the citizens and then not get treatment or whatever and cause a problem where people can be hurt or even die. And I can't imagine supporting a paper that would also badmouth the process of how we do business as a board of commissioners and that kind of thing. I don't mind it as a public servant. I don't have an issue with being criticized because nobody's perfect. But I can't support this at all.
And to your point, circulation does matter to me. If it's a paper of record, we need to get it to as many people as we can. That and the bid price is why I support that.
I understand exactly what you're saying, Bill. I have been very frustrated at different times throughout this past year. And I would agree with that statement, that I find it very hard to let the bid out to an entity that is, for lack of a better term, combative. And that would be my take on this.
Well, by law, we have to have a paper of record. Certainly your arguments may be valid and certainly could be applicable to the other paper that bid. That should go without saying, but I don't recall the Tribune in 2021 refusing to put any legal notices in his paper, and that's what we're paying him for. If that was a problem, then I would certainly bring that up. Whether we agree or disagree with editorials or not doesn't factor into it. We're paying a paper to print our legal notices and be the paper of record.
What was the motion?
The motion was to accept the Tribune as the paper of record.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to restate it again. I will not support the Tribune as the paper of record. And the circulation doesn't matter. It's by statute, the requirement is to have a paper of record, and that's a fact.
I just made a
And so
statement that it matters to me.
I know it does to you and it does, and I'm making my statement. I also went back and looked at the amount of money we spent on the Tribune. And I'm trying to find it right now and pull it back up, but we spent over I get to it.
Is public comment allowed?
Not yet.
Well,
It will be here in a minute.
Chairman, correct.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But I was speaking.
I will open it up here in a minute, Deb.
I can't find it right now. I'm not going to waste everybody's time, but when I looked at it, here it is. Went over the past 5 years for both the Tribune and the Sentinel. And shoot. I don't have the hard copy. It's not coming across. Here we go. We spent a grand total on the Tribune, $40,000.
What period is that?
Since from 2021 to back to 18. So we spent a lot of money, is the point that I'm trying to make.
I'll have to check my records.
And I have the invoices here. We can go back.
I do too.
And the exact amount, I don't really want to argue right now. The point I'm trying to make is we do support our paper. And when we ask for things to be changed, not editorial, we asked for articles. We looked at articles. Editorials are opinion, and that's okay. And a lot of people have opinions. But as a professional organization, I was disappointed. I've lived here all my life. My family's been here for lots of years, 5 generations. And it hurts me to see that the Tribune has fallen to the level that it has over the last few years. Circulation wise, I know it's declined. I personally have canceled my subscription. This is I never have ever, no matter where I was, no matter where I live. And so this is a big decision, and I'm telling you, I will support the other newspaper for our record, for our official records. That's my position.
Okay. Okay, I will open up for other discussion. Go ahead.
Okay,
I'll get to you in just a second, Debbie.
thank you.
James Gilbert. Very interesting. I think, first of all, you have a fiduciary responsibility to the county, whether you're required to take a look at it or not, to spend as little money as possible on things like this. And the bid is more than 100% less, or 50% less than the other bid. So that makes sense. It's going to reach more people because the distribution is higher with the Tribune. And while you may not care about distribution, Mr. Kanda, I do, because I take the Tribune. And the third thing is, in your explanation of why you don't support it, you prefaced it with the word personally. And your personal opinions are not appropriate for letting bids to do county business. It's for the county's welfare, not your own. So and that, I think, applies to all of you. And that's enough for now.
Thank you, sir. Debbie?
Yes, I also think that size does matter, distribution does matter. And also, Bill, you criticized the Tribune for their personal attacks, but you seem to have forgotten about the continuous personal attacks that the Sentinel makes with the BOCC, calling you muskies, calling citizens peasants. They really do no justice for citizens trusting the BOCC because of their harsh criticism of your actions. So I feel that they really don't deserve the business of the BOCC, as they don't seem to think very highly of your governance. So I agree with the gentleman that just spoke. You need to keep your personal opinion to yourself and do what is right for the county, for the people, and where more people will see the public notice. So I hope that Kevin and Tom will vote for the Tribune.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak?
Yep, Jordan Hedberg, publisher of the Tribune. Couple of things. This board, was it last year? You guys passed a resolution supporting the First Amendment. Was that one of the resolutions you guys did last year?
Sure.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from Chairman Kanda is that he doesn't
Vice Chairman Kanda.
sorry, Vice Chairman Kanda, doesn't approve our right as a newspaper to hold local government accountable for their actions.
That's not true, but that's,
Well, you know, I think you.
because I told you that when I prefaced it in the conversation, or not the kind of point that I made was, the editorials, that's fine. You can do that. You should do that.
I don't
First
write
Amendment
editorials.
matters. And I'm just telling you, the articles of fact were, and we've argued about that before, we're not there. True, this thing.
We have yet to publish anything that is not true, and we've given this board many opportunities to reach out to us. We don't criticize, we present facts. We don't call
That's
you
my point.
names. We don't do anything other than holding the people that you guys select accountable. But I don't quite see how you guys can pass a resolution that says we support the First Amendment, which newspapers clearly fall under, and now you're not going to take the lowest bid as an act of punishment towards us working under our First Amendment right.
That's not true, but
How is not taking the lowest bid not
If
punishment?
we can, gentlemen, let's not do it back and forth.
That's right.
If you would like to continue your speak.
Yeah, I'm saying, how is not taking the lowest bid anything other than punishing us for our reporting? You're going to take something with a higher circulate, you're going to take something that has a higher circulation and a lower cost and deny it. How is that not punitive? Either one.
it was your floor.
I'm done.
Sure. Anyone else?
I will say one thing.
Yes.
It's been my experience, as far as numbers of circulation, that wasn't always the case. Littleton, Colorado is a perfect example. It wasn't the size, it was what they did. And the Littleton Independent definitely had a smaller circulation than any of the other papers. So I don't think that's a valid criteria.
Thank you. Any others? Anybody got their hand up, Jordan?
I'm not sure if Ruby raised her hand or not, but it's still up. I don't know if she's down.
No.
All right. Okay, hearing no other discussion at this time, then those in favor of having the Wet Mountain Tribune as the paper of record, say aye. Bill?
Nay.
Tom,
Aye.
Kevin? Nay.
Gee.
Would entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the bid for the Sentinel and make them our paper of record.
I would second that motion as well.
Very disappointing, Kevin, very disappointing.
Discussion here at the table.
Yeah,
You know, I do too. See,
Tom has the floor.
words almost escape me, but in the last year, I'm not qualified to speak to the filth and trash that has come out of the Sentinel because I refuse to read it. So everything I know about that secondhand of what I've been told, that we've been called clowns, that they made a mockery of this commission. It just is beyond the scope of my understanding that given the circumstances, we would consider the Sentinel as a paper of record. I just, and it has nothing to do with what he has called me personally. I'm talking about county governance, this board of commissioners. Defies reason and logic to me, but maybe I'm the illogical and unreasonable person here. I don't know. I just cannot believe you gentlemen would support the Sentinel as a paper of record. I will not support that. Understand. You may feel differently, but I do think it's when you look at the circulation numbers and you look at the bid prices, it's ludicrous to think we'd do anything else. So.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm going to stand by what I said before. Fiduciary wise, I am also, that's what I'm representing here. It's how well you do the job that matters too. If the government kept going back to the low bid on everything and it fails, why would I keep going back to the low bid and not getting the job done? That's fact.
Are you saying we have never printed a?
I'm saying you did not meet my criteria, the criteria of a professional paper to do the job that we asked you to do. And part of that was
The job we've asked.
we asked you to
Excuse me, sir.
stop it.
Bill has the floor.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're good at interrupting, and I'm sorry that we're going to continue. Bottom line is my vote, my representation of the people of this county for quality paper to do our job that we ask is not the Tribune. It is the Sentinel right now. That's a fact of doing a better job from my point of view. Period. And so I'm not going to argue about it. It's the First Amendment is not involved in this. It's how well you did the job, and I'm disappointed. We asked you to a couple of times to print things we asked for regarding the actions that were taken over several different items, and I was disappointed with the results. So that's where I stand.
So I'll respond to a couple, and I'm sorry for interrupting
Chair,
you
before
earlier.
we get to public comment. can
Yes,
you
sir.
finish?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry, you guys actually have it. So
I said it earlier, I'll reiterate it again. These bids are for statutory and non-statutory legal notices only. That's what we're bidding on. That's what we're considering. We're not considering whether he prints in color or not. We're not considering a lot of things. This is about legal notices.
That is correct. Okay, I would open up the discussion to the floor.
So I'll just respond real quick. Sorry for interrupting you earlier, Mr. Chair or Vice Chair. Again, you don't pay me to report. The First Amendment is to hold local government accountable. We have done that. We've also printed everything that you have asked us. You sent us letters. We put everything on letter pages. We're not going to put a letter on the front page just because you requested it. It goes under the letters pages. But again, we're talking about legal bids. We have done it at the lowest cost under my ownership with the widest circulation, and we have done it without fail every single time. And so your statement saying that we did not do that is factually not correct. You can disagree with my reporting, but we upheld our side of the legal bids and publication.
Thank you, sir. James.
Again, I go back to the fact that both of your disappointment with the handling of any kind of conflict between the board and the facts of a sets of reporting is really irrelevant. It's not the quality of the news in the paper that you're paying for. In fact, you can't pay for that, which is what you're trying to do. Again, as a citizen of this county, it's abhorrent to me that you would spend over twice as much for a very simple service. You're not doing your fiduciary duty. You are probably violating your oath to serve the county. And you're giving business to, frankly, a rag I don't even use to start my fire. It calls people names, individuals' names. It calls them names that imply they're communists. It has a sign on its property that is a blatant lie. It doesn't care about the truth, so why would you give it any business at all? This is another example of governance by personal opinion and personal desire, which has no business running a county.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
You got somebody on the line who'd like to speak?
Yes. Okay, who we have?
Deb Adams has her hand raised.
Deb?
Yes, Bill mentioned how well they do the job. Well, it seems that Bill and Kevin are not doing their job. And this is exactly why I presented that the BOCC needs a code of ethics, because if you look at those code of ethics, act in the public interest, comply with the law and the conduct of the boards. You are using your personal opinion, Bill, and Kevin seems to always vote the same as you. So I really think it is inappropriate that you have voted to spend more money because of your personal opinion. And you seem to do that more than once, Bill. So it's just very disheartening that you would rather spend more county money than use the lower bid and a paper that has a higher circulation just because of a personal vendetta. Yeah, I can see you shaking your head.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else?
I applaud the decision of Commissioner Day and Commissioner Kanda. And I agree that the Tribune, what the Tribune wrote last year about Dr. Brown is inexcusable. The attacks and lies that were presented about that, it's just not correct. And if we are talking about moral and truth, then we have to come to those facts, yeah. That's all.
Thank you. Go ahead.
What to say. Harold, thank you for that. This is Ann Barthrop as a citizen. A lot of emotion here and personal perceptions and preparing for campaigns. And they do operate, for the record, with their oath of office as commissioners. I see no need to go and get more ethics. It's there. And you guys are operating, you may state it as your personal opinion, but I also view it as how you are looking out for the county. So I feel like you do that job. And I just wanted to say, because we've got naysayers, and I want to show you that we do support you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll make one more comment. Now that you're giving business to the Sentinel, are they going to stop calling you names?
You would have to ask the Sentinel that, ma'am.
I guess we'll find out.
Thank you. Any other? Okay, those in favor of the Sentinel as the paper of record signify by saying aye. Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
I would vote emphatically no.
Kevin? Aye. Motion carries.
Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your time. I do appreciate it. So and the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Chairman, we're gonna go back, or do you want to finish the bid process? We just amended just to do this one item, correct?
That is correct. I don't believe the trash service is on that list, so we would move back now to the 2021 Custer County government appointments. And this list that we have in front of us that came in the packet will need to be modified if we can go through and make the changes and then just ratify the document itself, I think would be a good way to do that. If you guys.
So are you saying that what we see is correct?
No, because at this time now we have you as chair and so Tom as vice chair, and so we're needed. I think we have other changes throughout it. If we can go down through and make the changes and then ratify the entire document, I think that would be good. So first line, BOCC chair would now be Kevin Day. Vice chair, Bill Kanda. Kelly Kemper would still be clerk of the board. We do not have an administrative assistant at this time, so that line would be blank. County attorney would be Clint Smith. At the present time, we have a blank for road and bridge supervisor. Assistant supervisor would still be Vince Cook and Kurt Wilson in Wetmore. As HR finance, we would need to put Braden in there. And correct me if you have any changes from what I'm stating, please. Custodian, Stephanie. How do you pronounce her last name? Ibarra?
Wybara.
Okay. And for maintenance, Dave Roscoe. And Human Services Director, Laura Lockhart. Publisher would now be the Sangre de Cristo Sentinel.
I would prefer we'd call that the bank of record. We're not hiring somebody or appointing somebody as a publisher.
Right, it's
Statute calls for paper of record.
it's the
You know,
paper.
can we make that change? Is that all right? You guys agree or
Yeah.
not?
I would agree with that change.
Paper of record.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a statement.
And I don't know, Clint, do we have to have a secondary paper of record?
No, it's not required.
So I suggest we drop that off.
Okay, I know as well, Florence Citizen has quit a paper copy. So we could drop the secondary publisher. Official posting place would continue to be the courthouse bulletin board and the Custer County website.
To a point, sir, we need to clean up some of this stuff. It's really not the courthouse bulletin board, it's the county building. I don't, the court room does have a bulletin board, but maybe it's semantics. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's
that
the
is-
court, it's the courthouse, it's not the courtroom. It's just the name of it's a county building.
Right.
Throughout this past year, though, where it has become apparent that does cause confusion in regards to the Justice Center and things of that nature. So I would agree that we could make that.
What do you think, Cal?
Well, probably for the last, that all changed right around 2015 or 16, that we refer to this as the county building.
So I think to avoid confusion, I would be good with making it the county building bulletin board and the Custer County website.
Right.
Okay. Official website. Is that
That's
-CO? Okay. That was a changeover, so I wanted to make sure that was correct. Depositories, United Business Bank and Colorado Trust,
column trust.
Colo Trust. My bad.
Don't put the rattle on there, because
Yeah, well,
Judith doesn't like that.
And Colo here doesn't stand for Colorado. That's the
Okay.
name of their business. So, we don't have any money on deposit with the other bank, Kel.
Not that I know of.
No, we don't.
I'm seeing a shake of the head from Braden on that as well, so. That was my go-to guy.
As it should be in this case.
He's the man with the no on that. Planning and Zoning Director, Jackie Hobby. Code Enforcement, Jackie Hobby. And Sanitarian, Jackie Hobby. IT Director, Vernon Roth. Emergency Manager, Adrian Washington. Veteran Service Officer, that would need to be updated as well. To Jared. And Landfill Manager, Brian Lockhart. Is everyone good with those
Yep. And
changes?
What about Jordan and Reggie? Should they be listed in here?
PIO should be on.
yeah,
PIO should be on there.
ITREN.
Well, as an assistant, I'm not quite sure. Are you assistant IT or what's your title? IT assistant. IT assistant.
I think this would be just department heads, correct? So if we could add PIO.
Probably ought to fix the road and bridge supervisor. Hasn't been appointed yet.
At this time, that would be blank.
Yeah, and whether or not we need the assistance on there or not, I don't think we did.
Because technically we don't appoint the assistants, so
That's right.
should we take those off?
I would.
Where are they?
Right
Oh,
up,
the supervisors.
yeah.
These were just heads of state, it looked like.
Yeah, I don't know that it's relevant for them to be on there.
We don't appoint.
Okay, so we can remove those as well.
And for that matter, Yeah, the rest is fine.
I think they were the only assistants on there. So
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Thank you for catching that. Okay, I would move that we accept the 2022 Custer County government appointments as amended.
I'll say.
Discussion here first. Yes, sir.
Just an observation, you might want to change the language. For posting, you said the bulletin board and the website. And I noticed for this meeting, the agenda, I couldn't find it yesterday, which would have been in violation of the,
It is on the website. I put it on there.
yeah, it is now. It wasn't within 24 hours. So my point
It was
being,
before that, but
my point being is, since I couldn't find it yesterday, maybe you want to put and/or the website, so that if that happens for whatever reason, website goes down, there's no issue.
Point taken on that.
Yeah, so historically and by design here today, the two official posting places are the bulletin board and the website.
You put in-
They don't have,
Oops, I'm sorry.
we just have to post in one of these two places a 24-hour notice of a meeting. They don't necessarily have to be in both places. If the website happened to go down, we could still post it here and be within the statutes of Colorado.
Okay, but and
To
implies it has
James.
to be both.
right, to James' point, and or would protect you.
Well, and we don't say and or, we don't say anything yet. We have two lines on that. We have the county building bulletin board and we have Custer County website.
So and isn't printed.
And
No.
it's not printed.
They're just
There was a Kevin-
Just listed it.
That was,
Yeah.
I was just reading down through there and I said we had this one and this one.
Then I will shut up.
So
Point taken though, that's a good point.
and maybe for the record, so everybody understands it, the official word, the written word is on the bulletin board because newspapers, staff deadlines are different. If you just depend on the newspaper getting it out, that wouldn't work. The website could go down like you mentioned. So it is posted, it's listed as in the two places where you can always get to it, either place. One would be the bulletin board, if it should always be updated. And I think all our admins and the clerk has always posted the notices here. So all citizens need to be aware of that. And maybe that's something we always remind people of. The other one is the website, and the website can go down at any minute. Like you pointed out, Jim, that's a good point. So
And just in my defense, Jim, it's been on the website for like 2 weeks and I've updated it several times. Since we have the new website, people have difficulty getting to the agendas, or sometimes they say they aren't on there and I don't know why, but it was on there.
The only folder that was available for agendas for the BOCC was 2021, and there's nothing in it.
yeah, and we'll have to get to it. Here's, and this was another issue that I was going to bring up later, but we can talk a little bit about it because Kelly brought it up. The website needs some work. The problem is we've started getting into that world right before COVID hit and all that, where the electronic bulletin, sites that we have, and we've been updating it piecemeal. And when you start doing that, you end up getting links and problems that are there. Jordan's been doing a good job of trying to update it on the fly as we say, why don't we fix this? Why don't we fix that? And it's not intuitive. I don't know why we don't have a bullet that says agendas. And you go into that bullet, and it's every agenda on every board for everything in different folders, but it ought to be able to get there very easy, but it's not that easy. You have to go to elected officials, then you go to agendas and you get the BOCC. You got to go to the Board of Health to get it. There's different techniques. And so you bring up a very good point. It's not very user friendly. We need to fix it.
Do we have a motion on the floor?
We do have a motion on the floor. And any other discussion on the motion? So those in favor of adopting the 2022 Custer County government appointments as modified or as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin, aye. Okay, next item on the list would be the trash service for Custer County. I believe you're up again, Mr. Smith.
I've got two bids here. First sealed bid is from Oak Disposal, which I'm now opening with my usual efficiency.
Maybe you need to get you a sharper knife.
It was given to me by my son many years ago.
Maybe we just need to sharpen.
I wouldn't give Clint a sharp knife. You kidding?
All right. 2022 trash removal bid. The Board of County Commissioners from Oak Disposal Services. 2-yard dumpster dumped once a week, $50 a month. Any extra pickups, $25 per dump. 3-yard dumpster dumped once a week, $75 a month. Any extra pickups, $25 per dump. Pay for 1 year at a time and save an additional 15%.
Say that last part.
If you pay for 1 year at a time, you save an additional 15% over these numbers that were set forth above. And then it's broken down. 1 2-yard dumpster at the courthouse, $50. 1 2-yard dumpster at Road and Bridge, $50. 1 3-yard dumpster at the Sheriff's Department, $75. Paying monthly, that's $175 a month times 12, or $2,100 a year. The 15% discount for paying 1 year at a time is the $2,100 figure minus 15%, which reduces the number to $1,785 per year. Thank you for your consideration of Oak Disposal for your disposal needs. Signed, Valerie Van Dusen, Director of Operations. Do you need any of the numbers repeated?
You okay? You hitting yourself? What are you doing?
I did this during my deal yesterday, rating the witness. I opened the water and it spurts.
The paper towel
Just saying.
right beside you
Got it.
on the wall.
We're done.
Okay, now I'm opening the bid from P&O Disposal.
P-bar.
P-bar, excuse me.
Thank you, kind sir.
P-bar Disposal. Date January 1, 2022. P-bar Disposal bids to Custer County the following. 2-yard dumpster serviced one time a week, $67 per month. That's at the courthouse. 2-yard dumpster serviced one time a week, $67 per month, and that's at Road and Bridge. An extra dump for either of these 2-yard dumpsters would be $16.75 per dump. 3-yard dumpster at the sheriff's office, serviced one time per week, $104 per month. An extra dump at the sheriff's office would be $26 per dump. And they have optional figures for Wetmore. Do you want those as well, or? Okay. For the Wetmore shop, 2-yard dumpster serviced once a month, $41.40 per month. 2-yard dumpster serviced every other week, $72 per month. 1 tote service once a month, $13.50 per month. 1 tote service every other week, $18.90 per month. 2 tote services once a month, $18.90 per month. 2 tote services every other week, $36 per month. Thank you for the opportunity to bid. Kevin Patterson, Leonard Oldman. Second page, see what they have here. This was an email to the BOCC admin. So those are the numbers, a lot of numbers I threw at you. You all want Kelly to, or somebody to run off copies of these real quick? So-
Yeah, that'd be nice to have, just to have, you don't need to have it right this minute.
Well, if you don't need it, I'll just give them to Kelly. But if you want it while you're considering and comparing the numbers.
I think we're good on
I think
that.
we're good.
Okay,
In regards to the Wetmore shop, they're being serviced at the present time by great. I had it until I went to speak.
Not Howard, right?
Yeah, it's Howard Disposal at this time. They did discontinue the 2 and 3 yard dumpsters earlier this year, but that has returned to the shop at this time. I don't know what this ongoing situation is on that, so.
So did Vocc have a Wetmore? Maybe I missed it. Did they?
They did not
They didn't
bid
have
on
a
Wetmore.
bid on Wetmore.
no.
It's not the same.
I don't believe they go to Wetmore, and probably the only reason that P-Bar-O did is because when Howard Disposal quit doing
They were
the Wetmore residents, then they picked up that area.
So that would be a separate.
That would be a
issue.
totally separate thing.
So,
So I don't think we can consider that in the bid. So that we got,
we got a 2 yard and a 3 yard similar, I guess.
what's your pleasure?
So Oak was in all county buildings, it needed a 2 yard dumpster was $50. They didn't change from location, right? And neither did the 3 yard. It looked like, right?
No, they both bid 2 yards and 1 3 yard.
Yeah. 3 yard here.
2 yard dumpster at the courthouse, 2 yard dumpster at Road and Bridge, 3 yard dumpster at Sheriff's Department.
Right. And the cost on the 3 yard was 75.
75 per month. The total of all three is on a yearly basis per month was $2,100. If you elected to pay for the entire year, 15% discount, $1,785 per year. But on a monthly basis, $175 per month. for those 3 dumpsters. And that's excluding any extra dumps requested.
75, 50. So we're comparing 67 against 50 and 104 against 75. Is that what I'm saying?
Yes, it is.
You mentioned 175. Was that for an extra dump?
No, no extra dump.
Total per month.
So your total per month for Oak would be $175. Your
Right.
total for a month at P-Bar-O would be $238.
38. That's what I got. Okay.
I move that we accept the bid from Oak Disposal for the trash service.
Oh, second.
A motion and a second. Discussion. Any other discussion outside? Those in favor of accepting the bid from Oak Disposal signify by saying aye. Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin? Aye. Okay, our next item up would be consideration of approving the December payroll and out-of-cycle checks. So you would be up, sir.
Just what I had sent out to everybody, I think a couple of days ago, is the payroll report and the out-of-cycle checks. That looks a little different than what it had previously for the payroll report, because payroll was kind of in that flux of everything going on between year-end stuff and actually processing payroll. So all the information is there, except for the total, which I included in that email. But otherwise, everything else should be pretty straightforward. Nothing out of the ordinary, other than a few year-end things on the out-of-cycle that came up, or in the case of like Fair Board, something that we'd missed from last month that we had that needed to get out.
And then the issue that you had with the was that retirement or was that Social Security?
Yeah, retirement. There was trying to just do an internal audit to make sure that retirement was correct for everyone, and got that all straightened out. So there was a little bit of a disconnect between the invoices that were produced by CIC as well as the reporting function in CIC. So both information items from our software that weren't matching up. And so I think in talking with CIC when they were here last 2 weeks ago, we got that straightened up and should be moving forward to be much cleaner this year.
Well, let's take it. There are 2 separate ones. I move that we approve the December payroll as Braden described and presented.
Yeah, I have a motion and a second to approve December payroll. Those in favor? Bill? Do we need discussion on that? Okay, my bad.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Thank you for calling.
Never hurt.
So
If I may.
You may.
Questions for Braden. So I looked down through all of these documents. There was one thing that kept coming to the surface that I didn't understand. And that is I'm looking specifically at the county commissioner's page, conversion earnings. I guess I don't know what that is.
So when the conversion happened, they weren't able to separate everything out as it is now. And so it was all lumped together into conversion earnings. It came over as one amount. That's been kept separate. That way we can, should we need to go back to it, we can. But all of the earnings that happened when it was ACS, that all came in as one lump conversion number. And then everything after that is truly separated out as to the type of earning and type of deduction, type of match. I don't know why that's the case necessarily. I don't know if in ACS there wasn't a way to separate that out more clearly, but that's what that means.
So that won't even appear now moving forward.
That one will be gone. So yeah, all of those ones that start with a Z or have conversion in the line, those couldn't be taken out at all last year because it is a year-to-date calculation. But moving forward, that won't be present in anybody's paycheck.
If I may too, I saw that on the check stubs as well, that it was separated out on those. Go ahead, Tom, I'm sorry.
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Any other discussion on this at all then? In favor of accepting the December payroll as presented, signify by saying aye. Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin, aye. That'll take us to our out of cycle. And grew just a little bit, but we were going for zero, but it didn't quite work.
I would move we approve the out of cycle check ledger.
No, I'll second that one.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to accept the out of cycle checks. Discussion. Yes, sir, Tom.
Again, a question for Braden, if I may, sir. The reimbursement to the Fair Board, is that money they've expended out of their budget and they're wanting reimbursed, or they're getting reimbursed for that? Can you speak to that a little? I'm not clear.
Yeah, as I recall, that was the case, is they were spending down what was left of what the county allows them. And so that was spending it down to within, I think, $24 or something along those lines.
And you have a record of what they spent that on?
Let's see.
Because I don't think we saw that in the, well, no, we saw it in our accounts payable, because that's why we're looking at it now. Wouldn't have seen, sorry for grammar.
And 12-1. Well, you're looking, it's just kind of odd that there's two identical payments that are paid out that on the same date, same number.
I believe, if I may, that's actually $100 bill and then an 83.86.24, and the total sum was 84.86.
Yeah.
Well, the answer to your question is yes, I do have record of what it is. They
Any
are,
other questions?
So my second question would be, can you find it?
And now, can you say it?
unfortunately, the copy quality, I'm not able to make out what's what's written on the checks. That's what I have as a record from those. I do have the check numbers, and they're all checks that were written by the county fair board. And these are reimbursements for those checks. But the writing on the checks themselves are not showing up.
Okay, thank you. That's it, Mr. Chairman, thanks.
There's one here, the steak fry expense to Pepper staff. Some construction costs to the tune of $700. And the steak fries, that was $2,000 there. Those are the legible ones that I have to apologize.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything from you, sir?
I'm good.
Just one other quick one, just for clarification, because I know that we had this email thing going on this week. The D&O insurance is 1831, is that's been resolved, and that's what Gallagher's going to charge us for D&O?
That is separate. This is another insurance here.
Okay.
The D&O is going to be for 4,000 something. And yes, that's resolved. That's, we're waiting to, I think Gallagher's waiting to hear back from whoever the insurance is that they get it from. But otherwise, everything's done on our own.
Did we get a budget line for airport for D&O or not? I can't remember. I don't think we did, but
Separate.
that's,
I'll make sure that we at least have a note in there.
yeah, for next
Separate
year.
line item.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So Gallagher did get all that information.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay, those
Moving right along.
in favor of accepting the invoice, the out of cycle checks, signify by saying aye. Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin, aye. And now we have Kelly up with her precinct boundary. And I'm assuming it will be different than the map we received before.
You got a soft copy or is it all hard copy?
I think it's all right there.
Kind of soft,
Flexible paper.
flexible. Okay. Well, there's a resolution that you will sign if you pass it. This is the new map. So after our discussion on the 30th, I believe it was, or the 29th, the suggestions I had made to you were just changing a couple of the areas. And then I think it was Kevin that brought up why not just put the lines back where the precinct lines and the commissioner district lines match up like they used to. And so when I did that, it actually makes the precincts
Balance.
almost, yeah,
Almost equal within
almost,
60 or 70 people.
yeah, yeah. And so we wouldn't probably ever make another
Imagine that.
precinct line change for a long, long time unless we get a huge surge of people, which we're hoping not to. And then
Can't.
hopefully, as I work on the commissioner district boundaries over the next year, because we have to do that in 23, hopefully not much will change there. I'm kind of hoping it will just stay like this.
So that we can keep both lines the same.
Yes.
Question on that, if I may, then, if when you do the commissioner boundaries,
Mhm.
they change, whether it's a lot or a little. These lines will still stay the same. We won't be changing them to match the commissioner.
Well, we could. And that's what I'm thinking, if they do change, that we should keep them the same. just to avoid that
To
confusion.
avoid the confusion of people going to the wrong precinct
Yes.
No reason.
when they do
not to.
caucus.
Yeah, yeah. And we can change precinct lines anytime. I mean, we don't have, like, commissioner district lines get changed
Every 10
along,
years.
yeah, with the census. But precincts, we could, technically, we could change them if the commissioner district changes.
Okay.
Well, interestingly enough, I read the document that Debbie Adams provided us. Was from the get the name of the office now. By 2040, they're predicting our population to decline by 700 people,
Up here,
Custer County.
that's interesting.
I know it did. Like,
I'm hoping to not be in office in 2040.
yeah. You might.
Well, I'd take
Very
being in office over the alternative.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, typically, we wouldn't look at these commissioner districts until the new census comes out in 2030.
Mhm, yeah.
But the precincts can be, an issue can be addressed anytime.
Mhm.
Yeah, those numbers where you redrew these,
Yeah, that
Yeah, I was
amazing.
surprised
Yeah,
how close they came. Yeah,
that was almost like you planned it that way.
yeah,
I think you did.
yeah, I wish.
So I haven't seen the resolution, but I'm
It's on
assuming.
your, it's in the
packet.
packet.
Oh, yeah, but the one you gave us today.
It's the same as in,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right. So it reflected this.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this map, when I record that, this map will be an attachment to
Got it.
that. And then, if you guys approve this, then I send this to Secretary of State's office so that they know of our changes, and then also to the Democrat and Republican chairs, they will also get those.
speaking to that, I think that I think both of those are probably wanting to receive that as quick as they can because, Colorado has to have like a February
Mhm.
primary almost.
Yeah, I have, so if you approve this today, I have about 10 days to make all the address changes. Because within our records so that we can get our list to the chairs for their
So
caucus.
what you're saying is you don't want us to table this now?
No,
I hadn't thought about
Please.
the address changes, but that's huge, isn't it?
it's a lot, yeah. They've actually developed they call it a sandbox, part of our thing that we can get in and make all our changes and screw up and not affect everything else. So that we can practice those changes before we do the real changes.
Okay, so I will make a motion. I move that we accept resolution 22-01 or approve resolution number 22-01, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Custer County, Colorado, establishing precinct districts pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 1-5-101, with the modification of the signature block being done and
Oh, yeah, we'll
presented
have to do that, yes.
as Kelly
Yeah.
presented.
I'll do that and then,
I would say that can typically, council, we adopt resolutions,
mhm.
Yeah, so
is
approved.
the wording,
Yes,
not
Yeah,
accept.
it's a
approve, adopt.
and for the record, Kelly did send it to me and I reviewed the resolution itself and it was spot on. She did a really good job of writing up the resolution.
That was by accident again.
I could take over as
Get a pat
attorney.
on the back now.
Well, how much do you charge?
Yeah, good job. A lot of work involved in that, Kelly. Thank you. That's easy for us to do our job.
Okay, so we do have a motion on the floor and a second to adopt resolution 22-01. Any other discussion on that?
One other thing that I don't know if you noticed, so in those two charts, where it's got the complete precinct numbering. It's also, that's different from how it is now because it updates our Senate and congressional, since those changed, because that's what those numbers match. And so it updated those.
Okay, I didn't notice
And
that.
the 7 means,
The 7 is
that the
the
precinct?
Senate, no,
Yeah.
the 7 is the Senate district. I knew you were gonna ask me this.
Yeah, that's the congressional.
The congressional,
For the Senate.
4 is the Senate, 60 remains the
Yeah.
same. 14 is our county, and then the 1, 2, and 3 is our precinct.
Any other discussion?
I have a logistical question for Kelly. At what point will we be able to have the map to get out to people so they know where they're gonna go to caucus?
Well, Chris Bryson, our mapper, he's already updated it,
Okay,
so we could get you a map.
okay, great.
So does his map blow this up so that the little nuances of my house is on this
Yes.
side of the line? So I need to go to that precinct. so
Yeah.
I can clearly see it.
Yeah, it's a bigger one. We were just trying to get it small enough
I
to
like it.
record, and I
I
don't
like to
even
see
know
this
if it's,
initially.
Mhm.
But,
Any other questions? Okay, those in favor of adopting resolution 22-01, signify by saying aye. Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
aye.
Kevin? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a lot of work and you still have a lot to do and
Yeah, the commissioner one's gonna be challenging.
Do
Great
we
job.
need,
Circle.
Yeah.
Very good.
On your way by those.
do we need to make arrangements to come in and sign that resolution after?
I'll just, since you guys are gonna be here this afternoon, I'll just.
Okay.
Can be easy.
thank you. Appreciate all your effort.
You're welcome.
Consideration of the sheriff's contract with the town of Silver Cliff.
We approve the contract between the county sheriff and the town of Silver Cliff in the amount of $27,100.
I'll second it.
I have a motion to accept the
I'm sorry,
contract.
I misspoke, $21,700. My
I'll
apologies.
still second it.
I was scrolling, so I didn't catch it.
Yeah,
We have a motion on the floor to accept the contract between the sheriff department and the town of Silver Cliff. Any discussion on that?
pretty standard, just the price.
Cliffs, except names have changed.
Anyone else? Okay, those in favor signify by saying aye. Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin? Aye. Consideration of transfer of funds from the county general fund to the airport fund.
So that is, you guys did a transfer last month for 15,000, and then Braden, is he still in here? No,
You bailed on it.
Braden discovered that there was another 10,000 that should have gone along with that. We weren't sure how to do that since we didn't do it last year and it was for last year. So I called Sam and visited with him, and he said that we could just do it today, date it today. We don't have to backdate it. We don't have to change the one we did in December. But you'll notice below that, I made a little notation. He said just to make a notation that it was for 2021, funds that were spent in 2021.
And this is the
So that when they
corrected
do the
amount.
audit, then they can make those adjustments.
Cool.
I see your asterisk.
Yes.
Anything else on that?
I move that we accept the funds transfer request as presented by Braden Surrogate. The amount of $10,000 from the county general fund to the airport fund with the caveat that notes that it's for funds spent in 2021.
I would second. Any discussion on that? Yes, sir.
So Kelly, if you can answer this, great. If not, I can follow up with Braden. If this fund transfer is approved, essentially then we have transferred 25,000 from general fund to the airport. Guess my real question is, these expenses that the airport incurred in the amount of 25,000, were those budgeted expenses? Or is the airport spending money and then we're just automatically transferring money to cover those expenses that are outside of the budget, unbudgeted expenses? Do you have any idea about that?
I do not. I had the same thought. And I've never really, the airport transfers are the ones that I've never really understood. In the past, it's been, I don't want to say strictly for, but mostly strictly for fuel purchases. When Dallas was still involved, they would buy fuel and he'd come to me and tell me how much, and then we transfer that money. They didn't do that way this year, so I don't know if this 25,000 is just for fuel. And I don't know. Virginia might be able to answer that question for you. Thank you, Virginia.
Boy, your ears were burning.
How did you know?
Because I don't truly understand it.
If you look at airport budget, they have 33,000 that they can get from county general. So it's actually in their budget.
Oh, that's right. So it's part of their budget, but it's
It's
like
the
a
only
line
thing
as
needed.
they, yes. as they-
Draw.
It's earmarked for that purpose. It's like a bank account.
Yeah, if you look at their budget, it says 33,000.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't want to call theirs or yours a slush fund or anything like that. Okay. Let's check.
For sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Virginia. So. Did that take care of
I
it?
did, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Any other discussion? Okay, those in favor of the approving the transfer of funds from county, $10,000 from county general to the airport fund, signify by saying aye. Bill?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Kevin? Aye.
I've said it before, I find it unusual that we have to vote on these, but we don't sign that document.
World of electronics.
World of electronics. Last item is one that I have kind of got put on here as a standing item a couple of times a month here now is our discussion of the judicial center. Because time seems to fly and things move slow. I think that's a discussion that we need to have as to how we would like to move forward in regards to the judicial center and whether we would like to, I guess, different options we have is to start over at square one and go back. I know some of the numbers are outdated now. So some of that will need to be redone anyway. Do we think about pursuing another ballot issue? Do we consider certificates of participation? Do we move forward with it? Do we not move forward with it? I guess would be the first initial question that we have to answer. I think we all know the need is there. But how do we get from where we are to where we need to be?
Good points. Before the end of the year, we looked at this and you sat in a meeting, I think, with the, what was a closeout meeting of what happened last year. And I think it was run by Ann. Is that true, Ann? or you were part of the discussion.
I was part of the discussion.
So it looks to me that, I know they discussed how to go forward, so I think we need to do another workshop, if you want to call it that, with the, with everybody and reestablish exactly what you're asking. What is the structure of how we're going to proceed? Are we going to get a committee together again? Are we going to pursue just a tax deal? Are we going to try something in the meantime to educate the people and then do something a year after that? Whatever the options are. And I did quiz, talked to Lisa Rowe about it, and didn't get a chance to talk to Judge Hunter about it and others, but I think that would be a good first move, is to pick a date that we can get, and then put out a note asking maybe the core from before that would still participate. I think, did you already start that in? It seems like somebody had
No,
some
nothing.
kind of a mailing list of some kind of potential people or not.
I don't know about that. Nothing's been really started until we had this discussion.
So, yeah, I think the ball's in our court.
Yeah.
As the commissioners to decide what the process is going to be moving forward on this.
Well, and we know, like you said, we have a need for a courtroom fix, and we have a need for a jail fix. And we don't necessarily have to do it the same way we did, as long as what we do makes things connective to the point where we can build a part of this and then plug in another module and do something else and then grow it, maybe is some option people look back. So we need to get together and decide how we're going to do it. Do we do the jail first only, or do we do the whatever? So what about taking a look at before the next meeting and coming up with a next commissioners meeting, before the next commissioners meeting, come together and discuss it, so we can get some idea who we might ask to help put something together for us to get a committee established, or the follow-on process. And I like the idea of having a look at it, every progress report in this meeting from the committee or from the group or from whatever we're going to call it, how we're proceeding down the path toward whatever that goal is. Is the goal to get something on the ballot this next year, or is the goal to get something built with other funds during the year or after that? Those are things that we need to discuss.
Yeah. In your consideration for that committee, we have about 4 people that are hands-on with grants and financial analysis that I would like to see you have on that committee.
Good idea.
Thoughts, Tom?
Nothing relevant. I've got a follow-up question when we're done.
Okay. So would you gentlemen be willing to come together and have a workshop to discuss some of this at a different time here or before our next commissioner meeting?
Sure. I am.
Discuss it with whom?
I would believe amongst ourselves to see what our options are and how we would like to proceed moving forward. Because I think even if we come up with a committee, I think ultimately it falls down to us, and we need to be giving direction to said committee.
And we got to have options to give direction about, right?
So
what day are you looking at? I cannot do anything on the 24th. And our commissioners meeting is on the 28th, I think.
it's the
31st, I mean.
31st. So
What's the wrong? 31st. And so the 20.
I would have the 25th or 26th open.
On the 25th, I'm busy in the afternoon. Morning. or the 26th, either day.
I'm good with the 25th.
25th, would you like 9 o'clock?
What's the likelihood of getting people to participate in the morning, man?
I think this first one was
I thought it was just us and.
It's just us three.
And then, but who else?
At this time, just us three
It
is
works for me.
what I'm proposing. So that we can brainstorm and come up with ideas that we need to move
I'm
forward.
good anytime. I'll start.
Let's go January 25th at 9 o'clock if that works
In here,
in here.
Ending time, 11 is the latest.
Listen, an hour and a half.
We'll go to 11 and hopefully we're not to hear that call.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Have you guys done the survey to understand why the voters resoundingly turned you down?
No,
Not yet.
We have no.
Okay, so
That's not part of the process.
we're unclear as to exactly what to do.
Right. We've done some informal discussion.
Yeah, but everybody's gonna tell you.
Everybody's gonna be different.
Sales tax.
No, I think the biggest part was they never heard of it. And that was odd because that was because the people don't pay attention until it starts to hit their pocketbook. And when the ballots came out or the blue book came out and said there's gonna be this ballot, they go, what? There's no nothing. It's all positive. There wasn't anything against it. And so that was, we learned a lot.
Okay, so we'll meet on January 25th at 9 to 11. Any other items of business? Did you have that now?
I've got two things. You don't mind, I was remiss, I don't have my head in the clouds. Back to the 2022 government appointments. I wonder why public health director is not on that list.
That's
I don't-
Board of Health.
a different.
Yeah, Board of Health.
Different board.
Of Health would appoint that person.
Is that not a county government appointment though?
And Board of Health is a separate political subdivision.
So they would have their own list of these.
Right.
Basically, they don't, but they
Well,
could have.
the only one that they have, that they appoint, the Board of Health appoints, is the director. The director then hires the employees.
And the committees that they have established or not.
Yeah, it's all
makes
the
sense.
Board of Health.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, thank you. And then if I may, sir, my second question is, I've been in contact with the finance director of the underfunded courts cash security commission. And she continues to wonder where we're at with the remaining balance of dollars available to us through the last grant we received from them. They really want to know if you're not going to spend it, let us know that, because we need
I
to get
thought
that
we,
money back in the pot.
I thought we sent a note, and at least Tina did, and said we finally found the amount and that we were gonna use it and ask for their permission to do it. Yeah, I better call them up. Because that was the intent. Something that I recall. Yeah, there's no, why would we turn it down now? Because we're gonna proceed, and we're gonna need the money to proceed to continue down that path.
Well, I'd recommend then going back and looking at the original grant application.
And I think it was for, I don't have to go look. And what do you know?
The 3D rendering was never done. And so some of that money was going to that. And it's my understanding that it has to be used by May.
Mhm.
Is that correct, Tom?
I'm looking right now.
Yeah. So I would suggest
Yeah,
to gentlemen that in your meeting, that be a topic included
right.
in
We
that,
can,
your
I think before
workshop.
that meeting, I'll better get a hold of them and see where we really stand.
Get a
I'll do
hold
that, of the underfunded courts. I need a point of contact.
Well, I just exchanged
I know.
emails with her. She would like to know what we're gonna do with that money.
That's why I want to talk to her. And we will explain where we are and where we're going to go. So I'd like to do that.
Okay, if you could reach out and then get back with us and let us know the results of that.
And
Conversation.
we will discuss it on the 20, whatever, 5th, that makes sense.
25th.
Okay.
Okay.
Good point, too.
Any other additional items of business? Public comment.
I understand I'm 1 or 2 meetings behind on that because I was so blessed with work, I couldn't attend. Our nation is pretty much in shambles in many different ways. And this is for a big part because we don't hold our elected officials accountable. After this incident that we recently had with Commissioner Flower and how he talked to employees, I ask again, Commissioner Flower to resign immediately. This is completely unacceptable and there's no way around it. Nobody can talk to employees like that. And if there is no accountability, then everything else goes. Everything else. That's all I have.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments. I would have a comment here as well. We all know that we're working through a situation, and I can appreciate the emotions and everything that go along with all of that. I would ask from everyone involved, including the public, to extend a measure of grace. My comments being that I would like to be able to work through this process that we need to work through and to move forward. And without, if we continually revisit something, it does begin to inhibit our abilities as well to do our job and to function. And so I would just like to make that comment. I can appreciate the feelings that everyone has on all sides of this issue. But that would be my comment, that I would like to not have to visit it on a continual basis. So that would be my comment.
Sorry, one comment. It happened, you dealt with it, let it play its course out, it's over and done.
Thank you. Any other? I appreciate that. Okay.
Give me just a second, so if you would, no, wrong document. I was looking for the statement of grant award for the last underfunded grants that we received. I thought this was it. This was for the one prior to that. So I'll look and see when that grant award was set to expire.
Are we sure it's the last one that didn't? Because did we spend money in between them somehow? Because
It
I mean,
expires in May before they.
I know
go
that,
into
but
next
I was
year.
wondering, we had like 4 grants and they're all stacked up and my work wasn't finished in one when we started on another one.
Mhm.
And I'm just wondering if we partially spent pieces of 2 different grants. I'm just wondering how they're booking it. I need to ask that question.
That's a
see what they
question
say.
to find
Maybe
out.
it's the very last grant. They think it's the whole grant. Or not.
Maybe that could be part of your conversation, then you could bring that back to us
Yeah.
on the 25th.
I need to plan on
And if you could find that too, Tom, that'd be great.
Well, no point in both of us doing it.
Okay,
it. I'll look.
anything
I
else?
started that process when I called them one time.
I just have one question for Bill. The lion and bobcat resolution. So you want that on the agenda?
Yeah, we'll put it on the agenda. I just brought it up.
You'll
As
get,
you know, we're gonna got Clint, I gave him a copy. I'll talk with Clint so we can word it correctly, fit what this situation is. And then we'll see by then where things are. Like I said, Cleve thinks it may go away. We'll see.
You will talk to our state senator, who is not Cleve Simpson anymore.
Actually, it is right now. I asked him that.
Well,
Right now-
it won't be at the end of the month.
Actually, it will be.
So when?
that came up during a meeting that I sat in on, and it, that question came up and it said until their term expires, they're still our person.
Right, they haven't actually established the new, they know what the boundaries are. And they have, Cleve knows where he's gonna go, and so does Ron Hanks and all these guys that are still representing us until that time it actually said, now you're gonna step out of the chair. There's some new guys coming in, splitting the work on 2 sides. I asked that question, Jim, because when I brought it up, I called both Hanks, Cleve, and was dealing with another fellow that out of Douglas County that actually wrote a thing about it, and I asked him the question what they were doing. So anyway, the Senate is proceeding right now. They're in session, and Cleve is representing us right now through that time.
Okay,
One last question, if I may. To Kelly, well, we've got her. Do you have the dates at the tip of your tongue about the election related dates? When people have to declare for the intent to become a candidate and all of that?
I do, and there's not really a hard and fast date for that. It depends on how you are going to. So
Right.
if you're gonna petition, you could have
Different.
started petitioning yesterday.
Right.
If you're going to go through the assembly route, you really could come in the day of the caucus, and you really could come in the day of the assembly and announce
Right.
that you're running.
You can actually come in after that, depending upon party rules.
When is,
The only date, if you go through the assembly, they passed a new deal last year that you have to let the party chair know. If you're going the assembly route, you have to let the party chair know 30 days prior to the assembly. So that's the only really date you have to comply with, I guess, or.
Although it's applicable to this county, for instance, if there is no candidate for office in a given party determined, say, at the assembly, but somebody shows up after that, it is possible for the party to then nominate that person after that. So the dates that are hard and soft, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Very,
kind of like that map.
fun we have dealing with it.
That catch your question, sir?
yes, thank you.
Democratic caucuses and assembly on the 5th of March. This year, too.
And then the Republican one is March 1st for caucus.
And Jim, what did you say? Caucuses,
Caucuses and assembly, both virtual, are on the 5th.
on the 5th.
That changes from the information I had before we changed our mind.
Okay. And they're both virtual.
Correct. Consecutive.
Okay, if there's no other business, I will adjourn this meeting at 12:41 PM. We'll see you gentlemen in about an hour and 15 minutes at the 2 o'clock